people in your country that like to crash planes and stuff, that America's going over there. That's just
I have no dog in this fight between either of them.
You won't because of Peter.
He was just trying to get a cam girl to teach people trades. So he thought, let's harness this power for good.
So I'm sure what all of our viewers are wondering is, are these on Pornhub?
I do not know.
I will check.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unfiltered Podcast, episode 6.
Welcome back, peoples.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome, people. Who's sharing the drugs?
We do not do drugs here.
Is there really drugs?
Right.
Where?
Where?
Well, let's introduce our guest. He's a good friend of ours, Blair. We won't say his last name, but Blair.
As we never do.
Well, we don't, man. Just
What's going on, people?
I would say his last name. I don't know it.
I don't know your last name. We're not that close.
But we digress. Let's move on to.
All right, so we're going to start off with, as always, so this shit happened. So our first thing, the first story I've got, is that the Indian Army mistook planets for drones.
Huh?
So they saw Jupiter and Venus in the sky and started reporting to their superiors that there were these two drones flying around spying on them. They said that they accused the Chinese of sending drones to spy on them.
Of course it's the right.
Could they prove them wrong?
Yes, they did. Because they sent it to what is it? They sent it to the So they sent it to the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. So sorry, the military had to send it to the Indian Institute of Astrophysics to identify the objects. And this guy said our task was to determine whether these unidentified objects were celestial or terrestrial. And because apparently you just send them in, you're just like, I don't know what this is. My question is, why for shit you see in the air, why are you sending it to the astrophysics department? Shouldn't you just be like checking the radar or something?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I see a lot up there, but I don't see anything else.
Scared. They're scared that the Chinese army is trying to spy on their cows.
Is this where they get all the clean air from?
I'll fuck you up good.
I know
Fuck your grandpa.
I venture to say this is what happens when you militarize children.
No, this is what happens when you militarize a country that shits in the street.
Yeah. And the rivers.
And worships
And the rivers.
and worships a
But
food
that has,
source.
sorry, a country that has designated shitting streets.
And worships a food source.
That's funny.
That is fair.
A primary food source.
I don't know, man. I got forced to say a lot of prayers before dinner.
Oh, I mean, but you ate it, right? It wasn't a jailable offense.
No.
So okay, just making sure.
Man, I had Indian roommates when I was in college, and they told me some like hilarious shit. Like cows will just wander out in the middle of the street, and people just drive around them. Like they'll wander out in the middle of the street and just sit down, and people have to just drive around them because they can't. You can't fuck with the cow. Like you can't move it, you can't shoot it or run it over or anything like that. Bump into it. So you just have to drive around it. Like India's already crowded enough. Imagine like a cow just goes and sits down in the middle of the street. Imagine you're in Atlanta.
So did they?
Do a moose and cat?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Did they complain at all if you had any beef in the refrigerator or anything like that?
No. They didn't give a shit. They were like, it's America, whatever.
I venture to say,
but
you have to. Not
they weren't
to.
like that. They weren't like that Indian. I'm just saying they were.
They're Indian in general.
Yeah, like they spoke it.
Yeah.
They spoke whatever the fucking language
Hindi.
is.
Well,
They spoke Hindi and all that shit. I had one roommate, shout out to Shreyas, I'm not going to say his last name, but I tried to get this man to eat steak so many times. Because I would be cooking steak, and he would wander into the main common area and be like, something smells really good. That's beef. You gotta try this shit, man.
This is your god.
You may get that man arrested if he go back home.
I was like, do you have like anything against eating beef? He's like, no, I just never have. I'm like, just like, eat it. And he was just like, nah, it's all good, man. I'm like, just eat. Shreyas, if you're listening, just eat the steak, man. Just come on. Just eat the filet. Get yourself some filet mignon.
Call him Clay the God Eater.
Yeah.
You know
That's an appropriate name.
that statement alone reminded me of the thing. I'm not going to get too long into it, but there was a discussion me and a person had, and I read something off the internet. But this guy was like, "How can you prove that there's no God?" And I was like, "How can you prove there is a God?" And he goes through this thing, and I was like, "Well, I also apply this to Gunter, the God-eating penguin," and he goes, "Well, how can you prove Gunter, the God-eating penguin exists?" So I proceeded to recant everything he said and apply Gunter, the God-eating penguin.
I believe you mean. So I heard this on an earlier podcast. I think you mean recount, not recant, because recant is to take stuff back.
I can't think. Man.
I know your proximity to JoJo's just fucking everything up. We
Raise
discussed
is
this.
fucking you up right now.
Not only that, I've been working a lot lately. I've been living off of like little to no sleep. But
I have too, but I still know how to say fucking recount. Now, granted, I don't know how to divide, as we found out in my last last podcast.
I was like,
it's 100 a day, and I was listening back to it, and I was like,
Yeah, you
I'm a
corrected
damn
yourself
moron.
Yeah,
I did. I commented it. But I was just listening. I was like, I'm a damn moron. It's off by a factor of 10.
You just have yourself. We're the only YouTube channel that'll call ourselves out.
I'll 100% call. I'm just mad that the astrophysics guy is the first one to fuck up a math problem on the podcast.
at least it wasn't Asian, so it's okay.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Asian. But yeah, man, I told him I just started repeating the same thing to Gunter, the God-eating penguin. And I said, therefore, if Gunter, my God, the God-eating penguin exists, he has therefore eaten your God, who does not exist anymore. And he's...
All this coming from an ordained minister.
Yeah.
I hate you.
In my defense,
let's let Will's mom listen to this podcast. I'm snitching. I'm telling your mom.
Come on, man. My mom's a small Asian lady, and she will kill me.
All right, back to what we were talking about. So the Indian Army. This is proof that they're not real. Okay. They had documented 329 sightings of these two drones. Okay, now you got to think about a planet, right? It doesn't really move. Well, it's just kind of sitting there.
What if they attack?
It'll move over the course of a night. I bet you someone shot at it. Just like maybe
ammo's
maybe
ammo.
I'll get it. Yeah, and then they even reported that it had violated the line of actual control, which is border between India and China. But they reported that it violated the LAC 155 times. So their army just filed 155 reports. That's paperwork. 155 reports because they saw a fucking planet in the sky.
Well, my question is, was it the same person to report this multiple times? Was it 155 different idiots?
So I don't know for sure, but I don't believe so because it's the troops that are stationed there. So like they're just kind of sitting there like, hey.
So it's just a group.
Hey, there it is again. Damn. It took them 329 times to just finally be like, you know what? Maybe we should just check on this.
It's just a small group of jackasses instead of like the whole army being a jackass.
Yeah.
Going out.
But they still suck. I'm sorry, you're not a real country.
This is the reason why we don't need a space army.
Space Force?
Yeah, Space
I am
Force.
so down for
Space
Force.
We actually do need a Space Force, but I won't go into the reasons why.
I'm not down for a space.
Fight?
Or are you gonna fight?
I'm not down for a space.
China's building a Space Force.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we need one definitely.
We need
exactly. Gundams too.
China's just looking for.
I want my Gundam. Yeah. I'm not joining unless I get a Gundam.
China's just looking for places to put people.
Sure.
It's like, it ain't no more room down here. Let me send a couple niggas to space. You'd be
surprised. That is probably one of their guys. Like, hey guys, we need to populate more. Like, cause you see what the white man do to the earth, we do to the moon.
Conquer it?
Yeah, conquer the moon. And so then, look.
Yeah, we're the best.
You can't sit here and say that, like, they are overpopulated. There is a restriction on their birth rate. If you have more than one kid, you will get in trouble. And if they found out your kid was a girl, they would abort it because of the fact that you had to have a boy.
Yeah.
No. So I think if I recall, so they will. It's sort of like a cultural thing where they just prefer boys because they keep the family name.
That and
the other
property.
thing, yeah. And the other thing is that you don't have to like kill your kids if you have more than one kid. It's not like that happens.
No.
But you get tax breaks for having fewer children.
Correct. But also there is in certain parts of China they are heavily regulated on birth rates. They are heavily regulated. So I mean, like, obviously, yes, there are like in Shanghai and so on and so forth where they're lenient on it because of the fact that it's the capital. You can't really overpopulate the capital too much. But what they do is a lot of the smaller villages are heavily overpopulated, and so there are actual reported killings of like little girls and
I'm just saying that it's not like government mandated.
No. Yeah, you're correct.
It's not like
you're
legally.
correct. Yeah.
It's just damn. Gotta go put them down.
They're gonna start sending bums into space. Just be like,
just have someone else up there. You get to the moon, you're like, wow, it's so majestic. Some dude knocks on your window. Hey, you got any spare change? Get out of here, you hobo. You're ruining the view.
I need some space beer.
one of the reasons why I said that we shouldn't have a space force is because, or if there was a space force, I wouldn't want to be a part of it because anything that can survive in space, I don't want to fight it. I don't want to fight it.
All right.
I want a Gundam, and it needs to be one of the ridiculous ones from G Gundam. I don't just want like a regular Gundam. I want like the Windmill Gundam or Tequila Gundam.
Oh, that one's broken.
Or the one with like the chariot where it's just like some dude literally with just wheels.
If
for
I
legs
get
and
any
a
of
horse
those
going around.
Gundams, I want the
That
narrator
man's
too.
horse had to put on the suit. Time they put the suit on the people. Whatever they showed the horse getting the little like the latex suit put on him.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the best part. Where it's just like, ugh.
One thing I didn't understand about that was why the fuck did you need a whole horse pulling your Gundam?
No, so I looked at yeah, it's retarded, right? I looked this up, right? Apparently, is allegedly the creator didn't want it to be over commercialized, so he didn't want them to make a lot of toys, like and sell just like shitloads of toys for his thing. So he just made like the most impractical, you will never be able to turn this into a toy type of Gundams that he could imagine.
So
Self-sabotage.
Hence the horse.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, and then with
G
the
Gundam only had one.
So in short, he eats glue.
How does he eat glue? That man made an educated decision to stop people from selling stuff.
It
wasn't stupid. He made it on purpose. Stupid.
He made it stupid on purpose.
Yes, so that people couldn't sell it.
He's stupid.
I'm only joining the Space Force so I can get Gurren Lagann. Only thing. I just want to drill my way to victory.
You know, not only that, I think
Everything.
Is that the one with like the galaxy-sized robots or some shit?
Eventually.
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
But he has a drill.
Yes.
I need it.
There's actually a galaxy-sized robot.
Yes.
But the thing with the Space Force,
That's retarded.
yeah, man, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in it. Literally no point.
No, you can't. You could never. It's literally impossible because of fucking light lag, because of relativity. You can't say you start to move your arm. It's gonna take.
Don't let your science kill our
100,000
dreams.
years. 100,000 years to throw a punch. Good job. What a great robot you built.
Think about it though.
It also takes 100,000 years for it to blow up when it finally gets destroyed.
That's
Inevitably gets destroyed.
I feel like Trump should just build the wall in space, though. That's the net stuff.
Man,
if he can't get in there.
Oh, you guys got the Great Wall. We have the Great Wall in space. Just put a wall around their country. Just literally put it in like geostationary orbit. Just a giant fucking wall above their country. That's just always up above it.
Oh,
Blot out the sun.
It just be like
blot out the sun. Yeah.
your territory only covers this high.
Trump's petty enough to do it too. But we're limiting you.
That's wild.
I would make so many like Overwatch made memes if that actually happened. Ice wall coming up.
That's funny because she's Asian
Yeah.
or ish. Whatever.
She's
Asian.
Chinese.
She's Chinese.
She is Chinese? Okay.
Yes.
Chinese.
Okay.
The voice actress is also Chinese.
Yes.
Chinese people don't live in Alaska.
That's too cold.
But she's cold. She's
May. She was a scientist and she was putting in a lot. We're not going to get into this.
I'm just fucking around.
Fuck this thing.
She looks like an Eskimo.
She does look like an
Eskimo. Next topic.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we have an Italian rape case.
All right, guys. So
none of us have heard anything about this, but Will's been laughing. So
my god.
I really want to know.
All right, so in Italy, I'm gonna give you the backstory. All right, so in 2015, there was a case of 2 Peruvian men were initially convicted of a rape case of a Peruvian woman in Ancona, but the Italian appeals court overturned that verdict and absolved them.
Wait, why is
Peruvian men? Peruvian men were in Italy when this happened.
So
okay, 2 Peruvian men
in Italy
raped a Peruvian woman.
Okay.
All right, and they were convicted of it in 2015.
Did their balls touch? Because if so, then they're gay.
Yeah.
Well, according. So so what happened was the court they appealed the court and overturned the verdict and absolved them.
Okay.
Finding that she was not a credible witness.
Okay.
In part, the ruling, the court noted that the suspects had found her unattractive and too masculine to be a credible rape victim.
We at the Unfiltered Podcast take very seriously, and we are not laughing at the victim.
Hey, it's so bad. So when this appeal sentence quoted, one of the suspects is saying he found the woman unattractive and had her listed as Viking in his cell phone.
Ooh, Jesus. Oh my god!
It was bad because she was raped her rape was so violent that she actually had trauma in her genitals. They had
there's like evidence.
Yeah, there was stitching.
It's unquestionable that she was raped, basically.
Yeah,
at least by someone. At least by someone.
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, like you don't get that from
it could have
a
been
hard night of
masturbation. Oh, we know.
What kills me?
Remember, pick is super serious.
What kills me is that they were just like.
I'm mad this woman walked into the court is like in the rape trial proceeding, all the heartache and all the difficulty of all of that, and the judges is like, damn, that bitch ugly.
No. It's like
not guilty.
No, it's like she walks in, she gets the justice.
You hear that, feminists?
She gets the justice. They get convicted of it. They appeal it.
Oh, it was an appeal. That's right. Oh.
And then the judge was like, he raped who? Whoa!
Hey man, there are some.
He said
we locked these 2 innocent men up, and something just didn't sit right in my spirit. Something just didn't sit right in my spirit.
What kills me is how ugly do you have to be not to be believed in rape? Like
I'm actually
her picture's probably not up there because of like privacy rights and shit.
She was considered too ugly to be a rape victim. That is wild. That is dangerous. You can't tell someone they're too ugly to be a rape victim.
Apparently
they just become a perpetual rape victim.
So this is why you were bringing up when Jojo said you got to rape the ugly one.
Yeah,
are you for real? Apparently that won't work. At least not in Italy. So that if you trying to attack a cult in Italy, that's not going to work. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
She should have hoped it happened in Atlanta club, so everybody just recorded. Essentially,
they would have recorded it and did nothing. They would have said they faked it.
No,
they're just roughhousing. I thought they were wrestling. They were just
somebody help that man just fight off that.
She may have been
assaulted by a Viking. Oh my god.
She may have been convicted and she's raping that young handsome gentleman over there. It's so wild. It is so wild. The fact that
it's just so damn absurd that you just been like, you ain't raped, you ugly. That is like wild.
What a standard for justice. Mamma mia, man.
And Mamma fucking mia. Okay, I looked it up and I'm not really getting anything. So
pictures. Yeah, it's probably.
Well,
She's probably being protected, man.
Well, it's
Like,
because it's going back to court again in 2017. And so, like, it went back to court in 2017.
I don't know if you... Oh, okay. I was like, I don't even know this. But we already...
It went back to court in 2017. They're still... I don't know if Italy has a double jeopardy clause like we do in the States. But if they do, they can't convict this. They can't. He's been already appealed.
She needs to appeal the appeal. Shit.
Yeah. It's wild.
I know there's all this scientific evidence, but damn, that girl ugly, man.
That's so bad. It's so bad.
Feminists, if you hear that, okay, you hear that, right? Fuck off. Go move to Italy and actually do something with your lives, okay? Go solve a real problem.
Clay, you're not talking about it because feminists aren't real.
Wow, that was a little spicy.
Wow. My name is William, and I don't agree with that statement.
Tom doesn't agree either.
Jojo does not speak on behalf of me. He is on the line. Let us know that. So please don't take anything he says seriously. Too seriously, at least.
I mean, the feminists are just a subset of women who need to learn their place.
In the kitchen.
Wow. That was bad. Wow.
My name is William, and I don't believe it.
Please see the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode. But it literally says no one should watch our podcast. So if they get mad, it's not my damn fault.
You weren't supposed to watch it in the first
place. You weren't supposed to watch it.
It's supposed to be
no one's supposed to watch it.
So
that's your own damn fault.
Who wants to hear that?
We should have 0 views.
Who wants to see the cherry on top?
All right. How can there be a cherry on top, Will?
Apparently, this appeal
there was
approved.
no cherry because they got it from her.
Wow, Tyme. You say shit about me. That's terrible.
This appeal was approved by an all-female panel.
Damn.
Appeal.
This is justice.
How is that okay?
Y'all just doing this to yourselves at this point. Don't blame men. It's not our fucking fault.
See, at least at this point in time, you can't say society don't believe women. It's y'all women that don't believe women get raped.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
What it is.
Yeah, we're sympathetic. Y'all are the ones that are stabbing each other in the back.
It's like the judge was like, I don't think so. And the other women like, she is pretty ugly.
Ooh. And I bet one in the back and tacky, too.
There wasn't, so... I won't say
she's gonna get raped. She don't even have the new Michael Kors.
So
or whatever y'all women are wearing today, man. I don't know, man. I stay in the house.
Yeah, Burberry. It's just like, damn, that girl is Burberry. So I won't say the name of the institution, but when I was at college, I did have one of those moments. Moments. I was walking out of like the subway on campus, and I rounded a corner, and this, like, as I rounded the corner, I almost ran into this girl who was so ugly that I actually just went, like that. Like, right in her face, went, like that. And I was like, I tried to play it off as like, I'm sorry, I almost ran into you, you know, but like, this chick was ugly.
You could have got away with it, Clay.
Oh my god!
You could have got.
I don't know if I did or not. I don't know. Oh no, not that. Fuck you! Stop tricking me into saying I'm a rapist for the second time. No. So like,
really, like
her eyes, like. You remember there's that guy who you said his teeth protrude from his face, right?
Yeah.
One of her eyes, like, not even just the eye, like the socket and everything protruded from her face.
Maybe she
all
just
of this, everything
like
in
Sid
here.
from Ice Age.
She looked like Quasimodo.
Damn.
She was actually hunched over, like actually had a bit of a hunchback, and had one eye that was just like she looked like the Uncle Ruckus eye.
Clay, you're being
and the bone was like stuck out. Too.
What year did you meet her?
I don't remember what year this was.
Was it 2015?
No, it was before that.
Okay, all right.
It was well before that.
It could have been the girl the proof.
I wasn't in Italy.
Well, she could have went to Italy after that.
Alert. Oh, okay.
She saw you there. Ha!
Well, she also wasn't Peruvian, so there.
Fair enough.
I could say the nationality.
You don't know what nationality she was.
I do.
Nationality.
It was very obvious what nationality she was, or at least I'll say it was very obvious that she was not Peruvian.
Nationality of ugly. Right?
She was one of the mole people, man.
That's so bad.
It's just-
So bad.
You know, as an ugly American, I take offense to this.
ugly Americans.
Should ugly women be considered women?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They should be considered women. Yes.
No.
That was
My name is William, and I say yes.
That was below the line.
I
Jojo.
say yes as well.
Jojo, you're gonna get a lot.
We here on the podcast would like to remind you this disclaimer at the beginning of the video. How many times am I gonna have to do that, man? God damn. I'm just not even gonna put the unfiltered logo. I'm just gonna have the warning throughout the entire episode.
man.
It's like in case you didn't realize, it's still there. Okay. Well, that's. Is there anything else
Next
about
topic.
that? Yeah. Next topic.
No, man. Next topic. Man.
All right. Oh my lord. All right. So.
I don't think that the cherry line was crossing the line.
No. Okay, so flat earthers, a flat earther group, spent $20,000 trying to prove that the Earth is flat and accidentally proved that it's round.
I saw that.
No. What they did, I heard about this. Then they were trying to prove it was flat.
Mm-hmm.
The results proved it was round, and
The
then they
Earth is
started
flat.
making up reasons and why it was like. Well, it must have been an anomaly. Like,
Yeah, so they spent $20,000 on a laser gyroscope to prove that the Earth doesn't rotate. Okay? Stupid. And the guy, this is his quote, "What we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift, a 15 degree per hour drift." Now, I don't know if you know this, but if you take 15 and multiply it by 24, you get 360 degrees, which just so happens to be the exact amount of degrees that a sphere rotates through for one complete revolution. So,
I hate flat.
Don't use your science to disprove God. The Earth is flat, guys.
So
the Earth is flat.
This guy said, this is a quote. Now, obviously, we were taken aback by that. Like, wow, that's kind of a problem. We obviously were not willing to accept that, and so we started looking for easy ways to disprove it was actually registering the motion of the Earth. So, when flat earthers say shit like "be open-minded," this is why I don't take them seriously, because they're not going to be open-minded. He's like, we're obviously just not willing to accept that.
Because it ain't true.
Shut up.
But that reminds me of.
Go ahead, get your calculator. Multiply 24 times 15.
Don't let Clay
I did my math. Yeah, I did my math right this time.
But it reminds me of this thing where
Fuck y'all.
I was in high school. And this was around the time where like Facebook was just becoming a real big thing, and I saw this kid. He came to school after seeing this post, and he said, "There's no way Japan bombed the U.S. during Pearl Harbor. It was an inside job because planes back then didn't have the fuel capacity to fly from Japan to Pearl Harbor because it can't fly through. It can't fly all the way around Africa.
It had a line drawn from the United States to Japan, going eastward, so the opposite direction. So it flew
going west.
No, east. It was going towards. If you went west, you go straight to Japan.
No,
so it was from the U.S. going east towards Africa,
I was talking
towards
about
Europe,
Japan.
towards everything.
It was showing a picture of them saying that the planes in
from Japan
flying to Pearl Harbor was impossible because one, the fuel capacity they didn't have.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying. I was looking at the picture.
Yeah, a picture.
Yeah. So starting in it did have an arrow on it, but yeah.
Obviously,
Japan,
guys, they had to stop for fuel.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, they did. They did a mid-air refueling in World War II.
Mid-air refueling over the ocean
prior to that technology being invented.
Yeah, that junk had me dying. And it reminded me of that story because then I looked at him and I was like, couldn't they have gone the other way? And he goes, "Oh, I ain't think about that." Because my teacher.
I'm gonna send this man to the sun. Next time we're gonna go
something. My teacher physically put a globe on the table, and first I said, "Can they go the other way?" He was like, "Why? How would they go the other way?" Then my teacher put a globe on the table and was like,
"Oh, this was your teacher."
Yeah,
really?
she turned the globe and showed it to the kid, and he was like,
Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm like,
the kid. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying your teacher was saying the Earth.
no,
I was like,
if she,
I was like, as soon as this podcast, I'm reporting her now. Like,
I
just
100% would have reported. She probably.
you'd have had us up for
Globes
the
are
rest of the year.
lies.
That'd be
They have
easy
to have a
street.
diagram in order to show.
You know the crazy thing about that I've noticed is that YouTube is actually striking videos that spread that kind of nonsense. Did you know that?
No.
They're taking those videos down. So if you actually spread any kind of flat Earth stuff, you're actually getting your video struck. But
I don't think
I
that is.
I say let them do it. Like you're probably surprised. I say let them do it. Just don't promote it. Like stop promoting videos that are just
live.
in the same interest as everything else you look up. You should have videos that are counter to that as well in your suggested posts. Because right now what YouTube does is it's like, oh, you watched 7 hours of Alex Jones. Well, here's a fucking,
Ben Shapiro and whoever.
No, you go from Ben Shapiro to Alex Jones. That's how that goes.
Yeah, I was like, you
There's
don't
some
go
steps
from
in
Alex
between.
Jones to Ben Shapiro.
There's some steps in between. Yeah, Ben Shapiro makes a little too much sense for Alex Jones.
Yeah, man.
Alex, they're turning the frogs gay Jones. Okay,
I'm here to date your 6-year-old.
have you seen that? Yeah. I love the. Oh my god, there's so many.
But
He's a
respect
lol
to the person in high school, because at least he didn't try to just completely discredit the experiment because they didn't agree with his hypothesis, like the flat earthers are doing.
Yeah, at least he was
So like,
open
wait a
to
minute,
it.
there's got to be
Credit to
something
him.
wrong with this.
Credit
This kid
to
was
him.
like, oh wait, they could have just they could have gone this.
Oh yeah, right.
That's
I'm a
what
dumbass.
happens when they attack underdeveloped minds. Now, if it was a real flat earther, they would definitely.
So if you take their videos down, then all they're going to do is be like, "See, this is proof that we're being censored. They're trying to hide the truth."
Government is trying to.
See, exactly. That's what they're going to say.
Actually,
So don't give them the satisfaction. Just leave it on.
Was making sense because the Japanese read right to left, so they don't fly right. Right to left. They fly the other way around because they read the other way around. You got to think about it like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, this math makes no sense. Let's turn it up. That's wild. I hate.
I hate flat Earth. Yeah,
I do too, man. But
fucking retard.
it's crazy.
I'm just glad that they spent $20,000 of their money to prove themselves wrong.
You know
It saved us
They had a
$20,000.
whole show.
bro.
You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that was on the
it's on
Netflix
Netflix.
show.
Yeah.
That's what happened. It
That's
was on the
that
Netflix
scene
show.
was on Netflix.
Yeah, go watch the Netflix show. Fucking hilarious.
Just fucking idiots.
Don't
man.
watch that Netflix show. They tried to spin it to make us look stupid at the end. And, the Earth
No,
is
they
flat,
said shit about
guys.
like we can't tell anyone this on the Netflix. Like they're being filmed, and they're like, we can't let anyone know this. Too late.
It reminds me of that video of this guy when the flat Earth theory started getting real popular, where man was like, "See, I can prove the Earth is flat. It's flat right now." He took a glass of water and poured it over an orange. See, water runs off. Water runs off, and I was like, I don't know what this man was trying to convince me of, but he's convinced me he's an idiot.
You honestly don't get that experiment, man.
I get you're a whole idiot. Just a whole idiot.
The water ran off of the orange.
I'm
So
still
the
mad
Earth
that
must be
gravity's
flat.
not real.
That's
Hard
With
facts.
all the flat earthers saying gravity's not real.
Yeah, and then they're like, but gravity proves
Yeah.
flat Earth. Like,
They don't believe gravity.
yeah,
They don't believe in gravity. It's wild.
I have no idea how it works.
If you're a flat earther, come and fight.
Actually, if you're a flat earther,
You-
douse yourself in kerosene and light a cigarette. Just do everything.
If you're a flat earther,
save me the
somebody-
trouble.
Somebody actually died like that.
Here on the podcast, we're not responsible if you light yourself on fire. That is your own fault.
Just take
Also,
him to the
don't
edge.
come and
He's a
fight
flat earther.
Jojo.
Take him to the
Yeah.
edge. Throw him off.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you off the edge. That's what it is.
You get jumped by 3 flat earthers and they just say you take him to the edge.
if you're a flat earther, don't vaccinate your kids.
They're probably in the
Just cut
same
that
boat.
cut that whole genetic line off right now.
Yeah, and leave your pets outside too.
In the
They're
front
right. They
yard.
might transfer the stupid.
In the front yard. We got another one, boys.
I hope she wins the villain of the month poll. There is a straw poll. Go check the previous video. It's actually in the description. Go check episode 5. There is a straw poll in the description.
I'm voting for Jesse Smollett.
Vote for Ingrid Newkirk. She's the worst.
She robbed a blind man's dog.
She stole a dog from a blind man.
I'm voting for Will.
He is in the straw poll. You are in the straw poll.
I don't think it's fair.
So let's tell it. Wait, real quick. This quick aside. Let's tell everyone why.
No, we can't tell them why because
he knows now.
I don't know how.
Just
can your license get took away because of that?
If so, that's a
You
good
didn't
thing.
actually do it. It was just a joke.
It's not like
okay.
if I did it, then it.
Yeah. So this did not actually happen, but
The possibilities are endless. But also, I want to notate that this was not my fucking idea. This was Tyme's fucking idea.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
yeah, just
so
like
the
a real
fact-
villain. Let's pass the blame.
Are you gonna believe me or the flat earther? Egg fucking
Well,
exactly.
tell everyone what actually happened first.
So I'm sitting here. So we were.
No, just tell them the idea. I don't care about who did it. Just tell them. You're in the poll already. Doesn't matter.
Man, come on. Not fair.
It's too late.
All right,
But
look.
tell them what you were gonna do.
What I
Because
was
you
thinking about
acquiesced.
doing.
You acquiesced to this basically. Not literally, but
So
you're
what?
basically there.
We were gonna marry Jojo to a random person without him knowing.
Reminder: Will is ordained.
I am
Ordained minister. He can marry people.
Who's atheist?
Who's atheist?
He's an atheist ordained Christian
he's
minister.
I meet the credentials for being a pastor because I'm overweight.
Yup.
And because you checked yes on the.
Oh, yes,
Are
yes.
you a Christian box?
I can read. I can also read. But we were gonna marry Jojo to a random individual, and then we thought, let's take this a little further. Let's try to marry him to another guy.
I would have burned your house down.
You see, at that point in time, Jojo, once this succeeded, I would have ventured. I would have distanced myself from you.
No.
You wouldn't have known why. I would just distance myself from you. And if I would have hired security. If they ever saw you on my property, I would have been like, "Hey, shoot him on sight." Shoot him on
There's a
sight.
bunch of
That
on
would
your
ultimately
property.
cost you more money than it would for him to get that.
No, I would do it right when he's getting married, because that's when he'd find out, and it'd be like,
That's what they're saying. Like you had his marriage ceremony, right? And they're just like, if anyone has any reason these two should not be wed, speak now, forever hold your peace. And Will's just, I do.
Hold
I
up
know
his marriage
exactly why.
certificate.
Yeah, he's married to a man.
His wife or potential wife just like, excuse me?
That was too perfect. Oh my fucking god. So ladies, if we have any fucking female, I don't even know if we do. They probably hate us. But anyways, if we have a female, stop shitting.
I can't help it.
If we had any, they're gone now. But if we have any female viewers, comment what you would do if your husband turned out to be the guy you're marrying on your wedding day turned out to be married to another man. Just put that in the comments, okay?
And he claimed that he didn't know about it.
Yes, that too. Yeah. It's like, oh, of course you didn't. Yeah, what a likely story.
The jig's up, boys.
Sure, you didn't know.
That's wild.
All right. We're gonna move on because this is just oh my god. All right, we have one more thing so this should happen. So I think Blair will find this really funny. This woman spent $15,000 transforming herself into a blue eyes white dragon.
Ooh. Really? Is there other pictures, please?
Oh,
They're on the right hand side.
That's not even.
She has fucking blue eyes. No. I mean, so that what she did. It's an Australian woman, and she put. So she used to be pretty hot.
Did body
She used to be pretty hot, like fairly hot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not the best looking girl I've ever seen, but like it's you know,
she didn't need drastic changes.
she didn't need any changes. Yeah, she's fine.
Very attractive.
Fine.
No, she's fine. That's what I'm saying.
And if you like our singing, we can also sing for the podcast as well.
But that's what I'm saying. Like she was pretty hot. Plus, she'd have that Australian accent, man. Just oh god. Nah, man, Australian accents. Come on.
No, I'm all
You don't like Australian accents?
I like the Hispanic
Oh, come
accents
on.
personally.
We know you like that, Will. We
Okay,
already
fair
discussed
enough,
this.
fair enough.
How do you not like Australian accents?
Because they use
Because I've been to Australia and it's terrible.
I'm not talking about
Yeah.
like
Their animals are dangerous.
Yeah,
Every time I hear an Australian
that's why you got to
accident-
save them from their animals.
Every
You got to
time I
rescue
hear,
us with, hey
Nah,
baby,
man.
look, I'm here to save you from all the spiders. Also, let me check your luggage before we go. I don't need any stowaways.
Every time I hear an Australian accident, I instantly like shake my socks and shoes out.
I'm talking about
I'm not getting bit or stung by nothing.
Bring it with them.
No, because so if you're in Australia, they have really deadly bugs, like
Yes, everyone
scorpions
knows.
and everything. So there's actually like if you go to hotels or so on and so forth, they have actual disclaimers on your doors and so on. Make sure you shake your shoes and socks out. Even when you go to the beach, you make sure you shake your shoes and socks out because they'll climb in there. You'll put your sock on, you'll get bit or stung by something, and then you'll die.
So
Make sure you have a riot shield before you open up your toilet lid.
you have an anaconda coming out of there, just cobra spitting
The
at you or
definition
something.
of anaconda.
I was talking about
those
those big ass spiders that like to hide up
Oh
under the
yeah,
toilet.
yeah,
talking
the huntsman spiders. I
Yeah,
think it is.
those
Yeah.
jump out
Those
at your
are
face as soon as you open up the toilet.
This is why I would never actually go to Australia. All right, I will never actually go there.
It's dangerous.
But their women are fine. But anyway, look, we're off topic. This woman had she had blue dye injected into her eyes, and I don't mean like her irises. I mean like the white
The
part.
whites of her
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah. So she
Didn't you find out that like that's bad to do?
It's dangerous.
that people already knew it was bad to do. It wasn't when they found out. They told her that it was extremely dangerous.
Okay.
So they were like, you could go blind forever, basically.
Worth.
So they injected. She went.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
The blind eyes white dragon, exactly. So it was a 40-minute procedure. It says it was intensely painful, and she went blind for 3 weeks after the ink was injected 4 times into each eye. So 4 40-minute long procedures, and she was blind for 3 weeks.
I can't see, but do I still look pretty though?
My Instagram photo is gonna be hot, and then she's taking pictures of the wall.
Nah, she's gonna be walking around town. All of a sudden, her guide dog's just gonna go missing. Newkirk strikes again.
She better not go blind in Australia.
Will better not get
Kangaroos will
voted.
fuck her. She's gonna knock into a kangaroo. Excuse me, sir. Why are you hitting me? Stop.
So she also had her ears modified. She had them lengthened, like stretched down or whatever, and lengthened with like collagen or some shit. And then she also had her tongue split. So her tongue splits in half like a fucking snake.
I secretly love that.
So now,
Me too.
so she went from.
I feel like she could lick both sides of my dick.
That's what, all the comments were about the blowjob. So she went from that, right? Just refresher what she looked like, and now she looks like a fucking demon.
It's not really.
Like, I just think that she worshipped the devil or something.
Yeah, that's exactly
just-
what she looks like.
You know, I venture to
Her eyes
say
are blue.
I have very little.
I don't mean her iris is. Okay.
She didn't look too ugly. It just looked like she was a demon, a devil worshiper. Like,
Yeah, man. I'd rather not invite those people in my home.
yeah, they bring spirits with them.
The atheists would rather.
So here's what I'm mad about
Yeah.
is that then they said this earned her the nickname Blue Eyes White Dragon from her friends because her eyes and tongue seem very dragon-like to them. But in the photo, they have a fucking DD-ass Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone that doesn't know, that's like the only expensive well, it's one of like 2 expensive but it's a fucking $1,000 card.
It looks like a stock photo though. I don't
No,
really-
it's on a mat from like 2017.
Yeah, but I don't think it's theirs. It looks like
No, I'm sure it's not. I'm just saying when they included a photo of the Blue Eyes White Dragon, they didn't just like there's thousands of printings of that.
Oh,
photo.
I get what you're
They
saying.
put the one
The
picture that's like
expensive one.
$1,000.
She gets sued by Kyber Corp.
Well, first you have to make Kyber Corp, and then maybe we'll talk.
Cool.
That's wild.
All right. So we have one more thing we wanted to talk about really quick. So we're gonna do a quick thing on Andy Kaufman, which y'all probably haven't heard of. I don't have as much material on him as Diogenes, but Jojo made the comment. I think last week was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that it's only true equality if we can punch women. Now that made me choke on my water.
And also, I don't agree with it.
I do agree with it.
It's true.
But
It's
there's
really
a guy. There was a guy named Andy Kaufman, who was a comedian, and he did a lot of different things. He had one. His original thing was that he would call himself Foreign Man, and he would come out for his stand up routine, with like this really thick foreign accent. And be like, "Hello, I am Mr. Carter, the President of the United States. Thank you very much." Like he'd do impressions or impersonations. So that would be like he'd be like, "I'm gonna do an impression of Jimmy Carter," and he'd just do like a really horrible impression of Jimmy Carter, and then he'd do like a bunch of those, right? And then he would do like, and now I would like to imitate the Elvis Presley. Turn around, and then he would turn around, take off his jacket, slick his hair back, and launch into like the best Elvis Presley impression you've ever seen in your life. So that was how he got to start. And then he would always end up with like, "Thank you very much." And then what ended up happening, he started doing his own stage shows where he would begin wrestling women. And during his act, he would. During his act, he proclaimed himself the intergender wrestling champion of the world, and he would take on an aggressive and ridiculous personality based on the characters invented by professional wrestlers. And he offered a $1,000 prize to any woman who could pin him. And so he'd say this shit during his routine, and like inevitably women would stand up and be like, "Hey, fuck you, man! I could kick your ass." He'd be like, "All right, bet," and then he'd take them up on stage and then proceed to just whip their ass. In front of everyone on stage.
Is this man still alive?
No, he's dead, unfortunately.
Damn.
Yeah. So he would just...
He's my hero.
They'd get offended, and then he would just...
That's the
whoop
quality
their
of his
ass in
finest.
front of everyone. There was another time, he was a damn troll, too. There was another time that people like wouldn't really laugh at his material. And so he like went... he pulled out a copy of some really boring-ass book. I think it was like Grapes of Wrath or something, and just sat down and started reading it, and then people were kind of like laughing, like, you know what? Okay, come on, let's go back to the comedy show. And he would just sit there and keep reading it until everyone in the audience left.
You don't think I'm funny, huh? Well, then let's see what really.
I'm either gonna beat your woman or bore you to death.
Yes, exactly. There's a whole movie on this guy. It's really fucking funny.
But I mean, I do agree with Jojo that if you're gonna I obviously there's like a standard in where men are built physically stronger than women, and so like in the sense that the fight isn't fair, but the sense that the opportunity should be equal.
Yeah.
If you're gonna you put your hands on another person, expect hands be put it on you.
A lot of women ask for it too, and like in a heated argument, hit me. Oh, I hit you. Apparently, I have to go to jail.
I think it shouldn't because in most cases, if it's a fight between men, it's considered a fight. It's a fight between women, it's considered a fight. Yeah. But at any point in time, it's between a person that has a statue of or that is seen as physically stronger. It's no longer considered a fight. It's considered assault or self-defense with excessive force. So, in my opinion, that's where I'm saying I agree with Jojo. The fact that I agree with in the sense that if you want true equality should be a sense in where men can hit women and not be charged with. They should be charged. If they're going to be charged with anything, it should be charged the same thing as if a man fought a man and a woman fought a woman. Yeah. As opposed to if a woman fights a man or instigates a fight and that altercation happens, then it's a different thing. If the woman starts it and there's a fight that happens, then at that point in time it needs to be tried as a fight. But if the man inherently starts it and hits the woman initially, that in my opinion, it should be considered like assault or anything like that because you are inherently stronger than the other person. It's like me going and fighting a kid. You know what I mean? But not in the sense of the kid is a kid, but in the sense of that my stature it supersedes his.
If you lost to a kid, I'm gonna let you know we're gonna roll up on that little kid.
Yeah, we gonna roll up on him. Oh, you thought I was afraid to beat up my homie, huh?
You got beat up by a little kid for real?
I'm gonna bring a gun.
I don't know. As big as Will is, if a kid beat him, I'm
bringing a knife.
I'm not fucking with that kid.
I'm gonna help you write a sorry note.
You need me to proofread it?
Obviously, that kid do something. It's just
my thing with it is just like women will use it as leverage because they'll know that if you hit them. You know,
Yeah.
not
punch
every
you,
woman, but a lot of.
It's like Cartman. Like he's like come on, Kyle, let's fucking kick your ass, and then just. Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, Cartman has fucked up a couple people in that show too.
He made somebody eat his parents.
He has.
No, he
He's
beat up
got
a
dinner with
midget.
his parents. Yeah.
He beat up a midget too.
Oh yeah, that I forgot about that. He fought the
He beat
midget.
the dog shit out of
Fought the midget teacher. Whooped the dog. No. I thought the midget won.
No,
I thought the midget. I think the midget beat his ass or something. Because I'm pretty sure
I'll look
I'm pretty
it up
sure the
after
midget
the-
beat his ass. But then like Cartman came back and punched him again or some shit or whatever. I don't remember.
I'll watch it
It's been
again.
years since I've seen it. But okay, and so there's one more thing about Andy Kaufman.
He had another girl.
No, this was multiple.
This nigga's
No, that
on
was
a
multiple.
rampage.
This wasn't just one. This was multiple women. He did this like all the
rampage.
time. But he also, what was it? He tried to get in the pro wrestling business, and he ended up getting in with Jerry Lawler.
The king.
The one and only. And so he went to the Memphis wrestling circuit to wrestle with Lawler. And Kaufman taunted the residents of Memphis by playing videos showing residents how to use soap. And proclaimed the city to be the nation's redneck capital. So yeah, he had a lot of stuff. Yeah, he also had a feud. He had a feud with Jimmy Hart and other. Oh no! This feud with Lawler included people like Jimmy Hart and other heels and stuff like that. So there's a number of, and a lot of these ended up actually being staged works. But after the first match with Lawler, Kaufman in his next stand-up, he got pile drivered during the match. And, yes. And so during his next stand-up, he actually came out on stage wearing a neck brace. He wore them for a while. So, that shit hurting. Yeah. So he would like oversell the injuries and stuff like that. Just go look this man out. He's fucking hilarious. It's a shame he died. Yeah, he's a damn hero.
This man just started internet trolling before it was even.
Yeah, he was the original troll.
His children are the ones that are.
No, Diogenes.
Sorry, yeah, Diogenes is the original troll. This man was like the original American troll, I should say. Yeah, because I can't think of anyone that trolled as hard as this man did. Yeah, he has a movie. That's what I'm saying. Go watch the movie. Yeah,
okay, I'm watching.
Go watch the movie. I forget the name of the movie. I'll look it up really quick.
It's
super fucking fast because oh my fucking god, Andy Kaufman movie. It was shit. I can't.
Holy shit!
Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon. I think that's actually what it's called.
That made me think of the movie Rocket Man that's coming out. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it is. It's Man on the Moon.
Elton John, Sir Elton John.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pardon us, Sir Elton John.
We're classy on this podcast.
He's united.
Yeah,
we respect people who have earned respect.
Yeah, that's right.
Sort of. Not really.
Kind of. Just Elton John.
I don't know if I've talked about anyone that didn't deserve to be talked about.
That's fair.
Yeah, we actually haven't. I don't think we talked shit about anyone that didn't have it.
Everybody got it because they deserved it.
Yeah. They had it coming. Is R. Kelly still in jail? Before we cut the break, is R. Kelly still in jail?
No. No.
All right, well, Liam Neeson ain't racist anymore.
There's
your update. We gotta have a Liam Neeson update every week. So
come on, leave R. Kelly out of jail. I like Liam Neeson.
No, that nigga R. Kelly needs to go to jail.
He does, yeah. Hide his camcorder. Like this said on Boondocks. Hide his camcorder. Just stop.
It's not for R. Kelly's sake anymore. It's just for the simple fact that I don't want to call him racist. I like
you like Liam Neeson? Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
Please don't take Taken from us. All right. We'll be right back, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the Unfiltered Podcast, do us a favor by liking the video and click that subscribe button for more content without the filter. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our shows, send an email to wetheunfiltered@gmail.com with the subject line guest and include your name, some basic information about yourself, your background, and one or more things that people find interesting about you.
So welcome back to the Unfiltered Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off news segment.
Round two.
And first up, we got Tumblr apparently lost over 87 million users in 1 month after they banned porn.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm still mad.
All the titties.
I was calling it. I was like, this is gonna fuck them over. They're gonna lose all their users, right? Lo and fucking behold, it's almost like people only used it for the porn.
Yeah.
Well, they were trying to make it so that like they were ad friendly.
They did it because there was like some kind of scandal about like child porn or some shit like that.
That too.
On their site, which I mean, you just need better moderation if that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But
All those fucks are on Twitter now, and they're always in my mentions, and I hate them all. I hate them all.
yeah, so I've been saying it. Tumblr's probably gonna die. I can't really say that I'm sad to see it go because all the Tumblr feminists and everything. I can't stand those people. They're AIDS. Are AIDS.
Take TikTok with them. That's all I ask.
We already discussed that
If
too.
I see one more ad for TikTok.
Did you see the thing I said? Oh,
It's just Vine.
TikTok.
It's
is
just Vine.
No, yeah, it is.
It's fucking Vine.
But
That's all it
it's
is.
worse Vine because then you can like make a video to match with it. You have the ones where they're like pulling something out of their ass. Or something
right.
Like that, and you're just. That's all.
Can you do
You see the
TikTok
Indian
porn?
ones?
TikTok
There's
porn.
the Indian like ad for TikTok, and you have no idea what's going on. It's just people dancing. Music.
Have y'all ever watched Bollywood movies?
I have.
Yes.
No.
Have you noticed how they just randomly break into song and dance out of nowhere?
You know,
they'll just be talking about something like, and these people just come out of the fucking woodwork just dancing. Some dude's riding a fucking elephant. Like, it's like what the
Their
fuck's
movies
going
are the
on?
best though. I don't care what anyone says.
They're wild.
I watched a guy kill a man with a banana.
Yeah. Oh, that's different though. That man
That's
is
why it's so
the
different.
greatest.
No, he actually sliced his neck with the banana.
Yeah.
It
He
was-
just took a banana and cut this man's neck.
and,
I need to
and
watch
stabbed.
There's
someone
one where
with
he's dodging bullets. He's just like
Oh, like Wu-Tang?
like the slowest dodging you've ever
it.
seen.
My favorite one when he just puts his hands on the hip.
Just dodging bullets.
The Somalian movies are better. Like all you.
Oh, those are horrible. Or Nigerian. Is it Somalia?
Oh, you talking about
They
the
can't
one?
be Somalian.
what-
That's a failed state.
They're like
they ain't no movies there. They're trying to find food.
Only thing Somalia has is pirates.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was Nigerian. That's just all the.
They
my
have
favorite.
pirates. There's no government.
My favorite one is like literal CG where the man is like he jumps right, and so he lands on the floor. He literally like jumps and falls on the floor, and then you literally just see like a cutout of him just sliding across the floor.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
That reminds me of the Steven Seagal movie. I forgot the name of it. I'll look it up. Hold on.
All right.
Keep going.
But since we're talking about like Tumblr, I just saw something. It's made me had to say. I saw this on Tumblr, and apparently in 1985 there was a black bear that was found that had ate $15 million worth of cocaine.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. The cocaine bear.
Yeah, and apparently it was for 5 minutes. It was the most dangerous apex predator on the fucking planet. Before he died, and he,
That's all.
Hard to kill.
hard to kill.
Hard to kill.
You just see this man running in the hallway, sliding, and then he actually fucks up the slide. So like you see him turn around like this, and he keeps sliding, like it's not going downward. It's just straight, and he just sliding.
I know, man. I love these Indian movies, or the one where the guy is like, so he stops a car, right? He gets flung out of the car. So the car gets stopped. He gets flung out of the car, and then he lands. The car does this whole flip, and then he throws his belt and hits the other guy in the other
I've seen that
vehicle.
one.
And then as he throws his belt, the car is flipping behind him. He jumps and steps off the car that's continuing momentum towards the enemy. All right, catches his belt and starts whooping people over there while the car is still continually flipping behind him towards
I need to find a way to be in one of these movies.
There's one where I can't remember. It's this guy. He always walks around in a jacket. He looks like a Boy Scout jacket almost. But he kicks this dude in the nuts, and then the guy's like, oh, like doubled over, right? But then he barfs out his own nuts.
Oh, I saw.
He's like, it's he's holding. There's just 2 testicles in his hand. It's fucking unacceptable.
If you guys have
I can't remember the name of it, but
if you guys are watchers, the listeners haven't ever seen like an Indian movie, have you ever seen like Kung Pao? It's like that.
Yes.
Kung Pao. If you've ever seen Kung Pao, it's like that.
it's somehow
but
better.
worse.
Yeah, it's better and worse at the same time.
From now on, you shall all call me Betty. Is Betty a woman's name?
What's the movie where like Hitler shoots them through the telephone?
Kung Fury.
Kung Fury. No, Kung Fury. Kung Fury. It is called Kung Fury, and Hitler was called Kung Fuhrer.
Kung Fury.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't wait. I want to see that movie so bad.
I need to see
I
this.
just remember that scene just.
Yeah, he points a gun at the phone and kills the man.
Is this such and such police department? Well, fuck you! And then he starts shooting through the phone.
I need to watch this.
I'm mad Tumblr
God.
turned into indie movies.
Yeah. Fuck Tumblr. All right. We're going to move on. So, next in the news segment, we got a Missouri lawmaker introduces a bill to mandate ownership of AR-15s. And Blair's going to tell us a little bit more about that.
The Blake.
Sounds dangerous.
All right. So, surprise, surprise, Republican lawmaker Andrew McDan.
Was a Republican.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I can't believe it.
I'm not making this up.
Whoa. Hold the fucking
introduced
phones.
House Bill 1108 last month, and it's called the McDaniel Militia Act, which requires every person between 18 and 35 years of age who can legally possess a firearm to own an AR-15, and authorizes a tax credit for the purchase of an AR-15.
Man, I would buy one.
Passed in Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd buy one.
Never mind.
You don't want to be forced to buy a gun.
Yeah.
And if it
But you get it
passes-
back in your tax credits.
I still wouldn't care. I would.
I'll be
It's
rolling
basically
around
free.
with a blick. Let somebody say something. To
No.
me. Let somebody say something wild to me.
But you wouldn't be the only one with that firearm.
Some
at
guy
that
calls
point.
up at your job and just fucking drops the N word on you. Just shooting to the phone, man. What you call it?
No, but everybody has an AR, essentially.
I'm just going
When everyone has an AR, no one has an
I'm
AR.
pulling mines first and then keep it moving. Just be like, oh,
You
what
better
say to
have
me?
it strapped to you. You better have it like fist. Do you know how big an AR-15 is?
This man is he's changing the
You
game
wanna
on the.
live, nigga? You wanna live?
That's wild.
This man's changing the game on the. I keep that motherfucking thing on me. Everyone in my
Rolling
state keep
around
that
with
motherfucking
Blake.
thing on
Why
me.
you laughing?
You know, why did you say caught you? You know, people have died from that caught you lacking challenge.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It was bound to happen.
Wait,
It
elaborate.
So there's a challenge called why you lacking or caught you lacking, where a guy would come up.
Why
and
you
he-
lacking? That sounds like
and-
something your mom would say. Why you lacking?
I wish my mom would never say that.
Why you
to me.
lacking?
Just come in with a shoe.
This-
She came to cut her some ass, man.
But what happened was friends would
See our
go
last episode for explanation.
run up to other friends with a pistol and point them at each other and point. Oh, why you lacking? His friend be like, oh, what the
Why you
man?
bullshitting?
Yeah, and
There
this
was
is-
one where there was a couple guys that were sitting on the bed. Don't ask me why they were sitting on the bed. It was
I was
uploaded
fine
to
with it. You didn't have to. I don't really
It was
gonna ask.
uploaded to Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and it was like they're like, "Who gonna shoot first?" And they all pulled their gun out on each other. It was like,
Wow.
That just reminds me of the
it was like, "Ooh, nigga, you dead?
Just
You
like-
dead?"
Aaron Magruder, we need you.
What's that movie that was on Netflix? Was it on Netflix where the guys had that idea for the
It's a perfectly good moment to throw your life away.
with the video game where you wore a video game suit, and it was 3 friends, and what happened was all 3 friends had a gun, and he's like, they pointed at each other,
They started arguing.
and they started arguing. Don't you point that gun at me? And so he shot. And he said he shot the gun. He's like, I can't believe you shot me. He goes, I didn't shoot you. I shot at you. And so they started shooting around each other.
What's the name of that
That's
movie?
passive aggressive marksmanship,
Guy
man.
from Dude Perfect.
Dude
Not
Perfect.
No, Dude Perfect.
What's the name? It's something.
It's the workaholic. Not work.
Work on.
Work-
Oh, it's from Workaholic?
Yeah,
Man, I love
the guys
that
that
show.
did
It didn't do the
workaholic.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I think we lost one of our mics. Let me. Yeah, hold on. Let me just. There, yeah, it's back. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. We got fucking mic problems.
That junk had me rolling. But yeah, that caught me lacking. Caught you lacking thing was a real problem. So people actually started shooting each other.
Game over, man.
Yeah, that's what the movie was called. Game Over, Man.
Oh my god.
But people were dying from it. And
That's worse than the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah.
it is.
At least that one you could maybe
Yeah.
make the argument like I never read the back of it. You should know.
Well,
You should know. No, what I'm saying is that like at least you could make the argument that this person didn't know. Now they are a fucking moron for not knowing that, but you can at least make the argument maybe they didn't know that this will kill you. But no one, and I mean no one, can make the argument of he shot. I didn't know a gun would kill me, man.
Fair.
I didn't know it would hurt like
I thought
that.
it
Well,
was
the gun accidentally went off. It didn't it wasn't like
It doesn't matter.
I understand that.
And there was one case where a guy ran in and said, "Caught you lacking. Why you lacking?" And his friend didn't realize it was him. Pulled his gun out and shot at the other guy like off instinct. Just bow. I was like, man, he must have been.
That man was not lacking.
He was not. He was ready.
The video where the guy pops out of the trash can and the dude just punches him right on the face. It's like a prank.
Yeah, he just gets fucking dagged.
I think we should start a challenge of why you lacking again, but like
No,
us as a
we're
group,
not
roll by
responsible
one
for that.
person.
We're not responsible for that.
No,
We're
the
not responsible for
anti-bats
that.
challenge. It's already being done right now. How long do you live?
Tell your kid why you lacking.
We need
lacking vaccination.
this is what we need to do. Instead of having the kids fucking suffer from that, let them get vaccinated, but find a way to unvaccinate the parents. Just let them just waste away.
They somehow get polio.
You know that reminded me of thinking
Somehow
of
get polio.
Yeah.
It's out there, man. You just
Yeah.
unvaccinate yourself. Now you get polio.
Bring back the plague.
when you,
Yeah, the fucking boob. So, a lot of rats running around, man.
when you said unvaccinate people, it made me think of like ways of like.
I'll find a way. I'm gonna
harming
go.
Well-
I'm gonna change the biology and find a way to unvaccinate people and just sell it to the anti-vaxxers.
Nah,
Here
man.
you go.
Just give them AIDS.
You so right, man.
It attacks their immune system.
Be like Cartman, where he gets the blood and puts
Oh
the
yeah,
cow.
I did do that. I forgot about that.
They already found the cure, man. It's just lots of money. You just got to blend up.
You
a
know,
bunch of money.
someone
Put it in
has
your bloodstream.
been cured of. Well,
yeah.
this is like the third time
it was
it's
the
happened.
second. I thought it was rodent. I thought it was a rodent trial.
No. A guy has been.
It was a guy. Okay.
Someone had.
It might have been a guy.
What happened was he had AIDS. Something had happened to him. He had a bone marrow
They
transplant.
put money in his bloodstream.
That's what it was.
They liquefied money and put it in his bloodstream.
But he had like a bone marrow transplant,
You've got
and the person that he got the transplant from had a thing in where he was not immune, but he was built to fight the AIDS. His system had he inherently had somewhat of a defense system against AIDS.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had a bone marrow transplant from that guy. And a bunch of things happened, and later on it found out that this guy no longer has AIDS. And like this isn't the first time this has happened with a person. This isn't the first time it's happened with a person.
Right.
But the first time it's happened with a person, it ended up failing in the long run. But it was just something this guy needed to transplant. So this transplant inadvertently saved cure.
Boy, there's a cure for AIDS, man. We're gonna start the raw dog challenge.
No, I'm not participating. There's only one man that we know of with bone marrow like that. I'm not participating.
So the raw dog challenge, man. Ain't no AIDS no more, guys. Go ahead.
Man, that is spicy.
Fuck whatever you want, man. Whoever you want.
You just give all the antivaxxers AIDS and then ask them what their essential oils does for that.
I'm guessing it's nothing.
See if you can pray this away.
Yeah, exactly. They try to pray a disease away, they all die. I guess God's real.
He did pray it away.
They're gone.
Boy, the cure for AIDS is out, man. We get to go around throwing dick. Boy, y'all trying to...
So for context, for anyone that doesn't know, your bone marrow, I think, produces white blood cells, something like that. Basically is in charge of your immune system in a way. So yeah, that would make sense. You just get someone else's immune system, basically. But all right. So that's enough on that. Our last topic is that people are planning to protest ICE up in Atlanta, and so Will's here to tell us about that. So they're planning a protest. I don't know if is it official.
So
is it?
Our source for this is a friend who spoke with a group of their friends.
So it's definitely hearsay.
It's definitely hearsay.
It's definitely hearsay.
It's
So
definitely
don't
hearsay.
quote us on this.
This is definitely hearsay. But from what the
Disclaimer for a reason.
Yeah, but so the general idea is that there's a group of people. There are a large group of people that are going to go and protest ICE and their deporting of illegal immigrants and so on and so forth. And they are all illegal immigrants.
I had to make sure Clay wants to drink everything.
Thank you.
Woo! Jesus.
They're going to gift wrap themselves to ICE.
Boy, I'm gonna figure out exactly when this protest is. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna alert the police, and we're getting our fire hoses and dogs ready.
So when you
man, they're gonna show up in a raincoat.
So when you asked if they had a permit, and I was like, they're usually used to doing things illegally.
So I was wondering why you dance around the topic, because I asked him earlier. We didn't really talk about it much, but I was like, do they have a permit? Can I verify this? And he just kind of danced around the topic, so I was assuming no.
Yeah,
that's probably why. You gotta get a permit, get arrested. So can I see your proof of citizenship?
Gone to this fella's cheese it.
Let's cheese it, boys.
Sir, do you have a permit? Me speaking no English.
Yeah, so ICE, if you're listening, some guys show up outside
Be
your
on patrol.
office to protest. Just arrest them.
That's
Off principle.
what kills
On
me.
principle, just fucking arrest them.
Why would you do that?
Because you're stupid.
What?
Because you're stupid. You're fucking stupid. That's why.
People are just gonna go up there. Hey, we don't like your policies. And who are you? I'm one of those illegal immigrants you hate.
You know,
Well, sir, you have the right to remain silent.
And you know what I was telling one of our friends is the fact that we could go out and protest. Is because we are protected by freedom of speech.
Yes.
We have the right.
The
to
Constitution
freedom of,
applies to us.
Yeah, and if you're not legal in this country.
And me and that friend had
That freedom of speech is forfeit.
I agree. And me and that friend had an argument, more or less a civil dispute over, because I personally do not like illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't.
We discussed that.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like illegal immigrants as individuals. The individual could be a perfectly fine human being. Just the action alone is what I do not approve of. And that's just because, as I said in previous videos, is that my mother is an immigrant, and she had to jump through hoops and follow the avenues to get here.
Right,
so
bust her fucking ass to become an American citizen.
Exactly. So therefore,
It's not
if
easy.
she has to do it, they have to do it.
It's not easy. I would even, people that go through the actual legal immigration process, they usually know a lot of stuff that even regular, like, natural-born Americans don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they have to learn so much about, like, American history and stuff, which American students just blow. I fucking blew that shit off.
Me too.
I mean, I remember a lot of it, but, like, I didn't really take it seriously.
Why would I need to know this? I'm not foreign.
I just figure, everyone else will figure it out. But, no, I mean, in all seriousness, like, they have so much shit they have to go through. And they have to actually learn so much about the country. So for someone to just waltz in here, and then someone in Washington just be like, yeah, just let him in. Like, no, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's like, I remember in high school we had to memorize the preamble, which was the fucking devil.
Oh my lord!
But
we had to do it. I had to do it in 5th grade.
It's
the preamble to the Constitution.
Yeah,
5th grade.
Oh my god!
The fucking devil. If you guys don't know, the preamble
we the people.
It's
in
like
order to form a more perfect union. So
I know that.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking Schoolhouse Rock song.
It's like 15 lines long. 15
It's a
lines.
lot of fucking. That's a lot of words.
I can remember in high school. The only thing I remember about history is we would write on the inside, or me and some friends would write on the inside of the books, and we would just put like the real title, would cross out the title and put "white guy record book."
See,
like white people.
See, that was y'all's high school. Back in my high school, I had to fear people stabbing each other.
Yeah, man.
That was terrifying. I don't know if I've told you guys, but
you did tell us about the stabbing.
I was not aware of the
I had
stabbing.
to fear people coming up to the school. We ain't know.
we had a kid, man.
Random intruder.
This was
Just
back
to let y'all know.
because like I was in high school.
Yeah, the principal's announcement on the intercom.
And back when I was in high school, we didn't have like the cell phones were just becoming a big thing. So you were still writing like letters to each other, little notes. This guy wrote this note to this girl, and it was meant for her, and we had to pass it along. And so everyone had an inherent understanding this was not meant for them, except for one other guy. So he was not happy what he read in that note. Apparently there was some kind of foul language said. I didn't read the note because it wasn't for me, And he stood up, walked over to the person that wrote the note and said, I'm not with that gay shit, and proceeded to stab him. In the middle of class. I was shocked. Shocked and appalled.
Wait,
Y'all high school was...
did he have a knife?
Yes.
Y'all's high school was crazy, man. We didn't have no stabbings except for in my elementary school. Like that's
So wait, to clarify, elementary school was in California, right?
Yeah,
somewhere out in
California. Yeah.
But you stabbed someone with a
but
pencil.
Elementary school?
Like these are grown.
Was it a stabbing with what?
A pencil.
Oh, was it a pencil?
Well, my friend did bring a razor to school.
What grade was this in?
We were in elementary school. We were just
I know,
we were
elementary
young
school.
as
That's
hell.
not that wild.
Oh my lord!
No, what's wild to me is that a whole nigga stabbed a whole nother nigga in my class. We're all in high school, so these are like
No, it's not half of one.
Yeah.
It's a whole.
we're like you gotta think about it. Like in elementary, so on and so forth.
Not a half
I'm
of
not
one.
gonna say that they're still not excusable for the fact that you stabbed someone.
if you're not with the gay shit.
But you're in elementary, like you can chalk that up to
did make a
stupidity.
very good point. If you're not with the gay shit, then
But he stabbed the fuck out of him. And he was like, the note wasn't meant for you, bruh. And he looks at him, pulls the knife out. Oh, my bad, B. And proceeds to walk out of class. Just walk out. The police wasn't called. The man was not suspended. He proceeded to walk in class the next day like shit was cool. I didn't want to be in that class anymore. Hey.
You can't let him back in here. Hold the fuck up.
Oh, I get
wasn't
kicked
gonna
out
speak.
for talking out of turn, but he stabs a whole nigga.
Would you fuck with that man?
No, fuck no. Exactly.
The
teacher's
teacher's
like,
That's what the police is for.
Some people don't believe in police.
You apparently not.
My school believed in the police being at the school at all times. In the hallway, sometimes even in the class.
That's wild, man.
We still did fucked up shit.
We had talking about shit written in books though. Like I went to a private school. Like, I went to a pretty fucking white school, right?
You could smell the privilege in the room.
Yeah. I went to school with the name brand kids. Like our mayor's granddaughter was in my grade.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the mayor of our town.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say the town's name, but
yeah.
the mayor of our town's granddaughter was in my class. She was in my class from the whole time I was there, all 12 years. Well, he wasn't the mayor all 12. Whatever. But there was some wild shit that happened at that school. Even not quite as wild as Will's, but I remember opening up a health textbook and there was people just like talking or whatever. And this dude sitting there just had like his hand out or whatever, talking like this. And someone had written in the speech that said like, "This is how you cup the balls." Just right on in the fucking thing. And then the other thing was that the quote unquote worst thing that ever happened at our school. Now this school had real quick, let me count. 7 black kids. 6 or 7 black kids. In total. In total. Yeah, it's not that hard to count. You can count to 7, you know?
Well, you can't divide.
There was like none of them. And like most of them were like the whitest black kids you've ever met in your life. So like, yeah. One day, we got called into our school assembly. And the principal's like, there's been an incident. We're just sitting there like, great, what the fuck now, right? Someone etched the N-word into the bathroom stall.
That's like some
into the stall or
the bathroom stall wall.
Oh,
you know the wall. Like you know how most places you go to the bathroom and there's just shit itched. Every gas station I've ever been at has the N-word scratched into the fucking wall.
Clay, I don't know why I thought someone actually etched this into the portion of the toilet.
That would have been amazing. That would have been incredible. He was sitting there with a fucking hammer and chisel. I'm gonna fucking show you.
Damn niggas. Coming to our school to breathe out air.
Now it didn't even have the hard ER.
So it was just nice about it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was just shit you hear all the time, right?
Yeah.
But we had a fucking school assembly. And like it was, you would have thought the world was ending, Jojo. Like they act like this is the worst thing that's ever happened on planet Earth.
I would have did that if I went to an all-white school.
Now, it's funny. You say that because it turned out it was one of those 7 black kids that did it. Yes! I'm not gonna say any names, but they did an investigation and spent all this time and effort and all this shit. And finally, this black kid just walks into the office. He's like, "Yeah, I did it." Just fucking admits to it. Stop shitting at me, Will.
They would have never known.
Stop shitting. They would have heard that.
Did y'all have chapel? Because like the school
I
went to, we had
we had a prayer before every assembly, but they didn't care if I just sat there with my eyes open, staring blankly at the wall while everyone else is praying.
I went to a private
and
school
I was
too,
like, we were like the non.
But I was kicked out.
Wait, what?
I'm tired.
I'm shocked, Jojo. I can't believe they kicked you out of private school.
Somebody hit my sister, so I beat that man to a cardiac arrest.
It's a heart attack?
A cardiac arrest?
A heart attack?
Yes. Over there.
Yeah, how old is this man?
Do I have to say what grade this was?
You should give us some context about how age you. Okay, whatever. So you were in 4th grade.
Yes.
How old was the person that had a cardiac arrest?
I don't know. I don't care.
Were they like the same age?
Yeah, same class, everything.
You know how hard it is to fight or hit someone that young into a cardiac arrest?
Maybe they already had a heart problem.
I was throwing it.
They could have had a heart murmur.
They could have, it could be the
See,
case.
Jojo saved their life. He exposed the problem. You gotta get it out of here at an early age. You're a hero, Jojo.
Yes!
You beat that kid to death.
You can go to his parents' house, you're welcome.
See, it's a good thing I kicked your son's ass.
It wasn't the ass whooping he
whatever it
deserved,
was.
but the ass whooping he needed.
It's called me Black Marvel.
That's ignorant.
I want to get off the topic of
Yeah,
school.
we're already so fucking far off topic.
Yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
Ice.
Yeah, we were talking about the ice thing. Yeah, so basically,
100%. I just didn't know what we were talking about. So just like
to summarize, arrest them.
Yeah,
there you go. There's your warning, guys. Someone. I'm not going to call them because it's too much effort.
I will. If
All
there's
right,
money,
Jojo
if
will
there's
call
money
them.
into it.
Oh
Jojo
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out.
All right,
if there was a reward for
there might be. There might be
pointing out people who are illegal. I'll definitely.
What's it called? Like the whistleblower or something like that?
That's for like companies though.
Oh,
you work
that's
for a
fair.
company. No. The I don't know, man.
Wait, if there's a reward, I'll just take him down to like the Olive Garden and let him
There's a
watch.
reward for Thought Patrol. There's a reward for the Thought
there
Patrol.
now?
Yeah, no, you didn't hear about that.
Oh, I
you didn't
knew.
hear about the. You didn't hear about the Thought Patrol.
Well, no, I knew about the Thought Patrol.
Okay,
yeah.
if you report a thought, like a Snapchat thought or a Twitch
I
thought,
thought it was a joke. You can get money for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
15%.
you
Up
can
to
get 50.
15%.
No.
It's up to 50.
Yeah,
up
to
15%.
I think it's 15%.
Oh
You
no,
get-
it's a 30.
It's 15 or 30%. You can get up to like a certain percentage of whatever back taxes they owe as a reward.
but it has to be over $1 million.
Oh, okay.
They have to. Is it over $1 million?
It has to be $1 million.
Okay.
man.
It has to be a lot of money.
It's 30%, and it
But
has
is
to be
it-
at least $1 million.
Well, I think that's for the maximum. I think it scales up or whatever, right?
if it's higher, it's
I think there's a
15%.
Yeah, I think there's a certain point at which you start getting a reward and it gradually scales up. I could be wrong. Look this up on Google. Just Google it.
I know the 15% is for any. 15% doesn't have to be doesn't have a starting limit.
Right.
But the 30%.
The 30% has to be over $1 million. Yes.
Yeah,
That's
but the 15% it have to lead to a direct, like the information you gave had to lead exactly to
that
a
had to be
direct
like the
arrest.
smoking gun. Basically.
Yeah, it literally had to be.
But I mean,
Like
the
15%.
Twitch thoughts, that's pretty much all out there.
was-
So you could just write up everything that you think, write up everything that's going on, and then just get them to investigate.
Well, I mean, even if you said this person isn't paying their taxes and you hit on the dice, that doesn't prove that they weren't paying their taxes.
No, what I'm saying is like you would have proof of how much their income is.
Oh,
'cause
fair.
It shows up on the
Fair.
Twitch chat. So you could just easily go like, look, here's the video. You can actually just go through and tally up all the money. You can even
Fair.
do it yourself.
Fair, very fair.
Here you go, just verify this.
I just remember one of the first tweets when that stuff started happening, and it's just like
Some bitch was just
somebody in
mad
all
as
caps.
hell.
Somebody reported my premium Snapchat to the IRS.
Uh-huh.
I'm pissed.
Uh-huh.
And they would have like witch hunts for the guys too.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
I'm gonna blackmail the shit.
it's a
out of
real
them
job.
on Snapchat.
I shouldn't have to pay taxes on it. Fucking pick one.
You said a
Don't-
real job.
They
You
say
didn't have
that's
to
what they
pay
say.
tax.
They're like sex work is real work.
Yeah.
Okay, pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
If it's real work, pay taxes on it.
I think prostitution should be legal.
It should be, but I mean,
That's
I'm not
another
gonna
discussion.
solicit any, but
That's another discussion.
yeah, we'll talk about that another time. All right, we got one more thing we're gonna talk about today. Now, this is gonna be our first anime discussion. This is why we actually have Blair on, is because he wanted to talk about some anime. So we're gonna discuss some of that. First off, we actually we got a shout out from someone's podcast.
Oh, shout out to our friend. I think his name is Shin. From the outlet, the Casual Otakus.
Yeah.
Definitely check his podcast out and give your honest opinion about it. I definitely
Like, follow,
And
ring the
subscribe.
bell.
Hit that
Or you
bell.
just be a dick like Will and dislike every video he posts.
Allegedly.
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 I never seen my friend Will
saw
do
him
that.
Nah,
Ever.
he's gonna know Will's just fucking with him. Like he gave him the view. That's all that matters.
It's all about the comments.
You didn't tell me about his podcast.
Shit, I love you, man. I watch your videos.
He watched all of your videos.
I have
actually did, yeah.
I have watched every
He
video
legitimately
you
did.
put out.
He gave you a
I've also disliked every video you put out.
Will, you're a jerk.
yeah. Will's
You're a
jerk.
jerk.
All right, look, man. Well, I'll go through and I will like all of your videos because I didn't find out about this until like an hour ago. But I will go through and like all your videos to counteract Will's jackassery. And also, Will should get 5 years for general jackassery.
Yes.
I don't feel like that qualifies.
He's gonna vote you as a villain now.
Please don't do that.
See, he's in the straw
Go
poll.
to our video and
to the-
vote Will as a villain.
Yeah, go to
Withdraw.
I'll put it again in this episode. But go to the straw poll from episode 5 in the description and just vote for Will.
Look,
He's one of the 5. He's the villain of the month.
Look,
Yeah.
I make a new one and have them the only option.
Is it Will or is it Will?
I watch his videos, man. My only critique is that it's like it's very how do I say?
Well, I think you can skip episode 1 from what you were saying.
It's so yeah. Skip episode 1. If episode 1 is still good, like for the context of, I guess to say
Who they are.
yeah,
It's
it's very amateur, but it's not a bad thing. It's because we're amateur as well.
I mean, yeah,
But
we are
I
not
don't know
professional.
fuck
By
I'm
We
no
only got
means.
2 fucking microphones. We are fucking
Definitely
amateur.
not professional, but
They
like,
ain't even good ones.
but like,
I'm not even wearing our hat.
Don't you show
As I'm
blue
sure you can
microphone.
tell.
but he definitely there's definitely good content there. I definitely think you should watch it for there is good content once they start getting into it. It takes some time for them to get into their content, but
that's what I'm saying. Just start with the second episode because the reason people are going to want is the content or whatever.
Yeah.
So just go start with the content. If you like it, then you can go back and watch episode 1 and see how everything started out.
I only disliked your videos, so you didn't get a big head.
Well,
Will did it because he's just a jackass. That's why he did it. It has nothing to do with anything. He's trying to justify it, but he's just a jackass.
I'm not a jackass, but let's talk about that.
We invite you to this podcast to kick Will in the nuts.
Who?
Shin?
Shin, we invite you to this podcast to kick Will in the nuts.
Congratulations, jerk.
Through the magic of editing.
Through the magic of editing, there was no name said on this.
Note that down real quick. 36-minute mark.
But so what anime did you want to bring up? Because I am a avid anime watcher.
I've been trying to keep up. I finally finished Bunny Girl Senpai.
Bunny Girl Senpai, oh my god.
Last season, big popular one. I'm a manly dude. I don't cry ever. That's a lie, but I cried.
Did you cry when Old Yeller died?
Nah.
You better cry when Ace died.
I did cry.
I didn't cry when Ace died. I cried when Luffy broke mentally.
Yeah.
When he broke, it wasn't just the fact that if you've ever watched One Piece, one of the biggest turning points in that anime was right before the Pirate War or the Great Marineford War. But the great thing about it, that scene that I thought was done really well, was that you saw the vulnerability of the characters and how it wasn't. In most animes nowadays, you can't kill the protagonist.
Yeah.
And one of the first animes, in my opinion, that did a really good job of taking characters out and keeping you on your toes about who's going to be alive was Akame Got Killed. Was a really good anime that did that very well.
They killed bro.
No!
Or just do it like ReZero and just bring in the protagonist back every time you kill him.
That and it's it brought more validity to death. One of my biggest issues with shows in general is that some shows, when someone dies, there's no actual heartbreak because of the fact that when they pass, that character's never really dead. They do it in movies, they do it in TV shows, and they do it in animes and so on and so forth.
DBZ.
Dragon. I like. All right, and this is for all my Dragon Ball fans out there. I love Dragon Ball. I loved it as growing up, but I was very hesitant to watch Super because Dragon Ball, in my opinion, has always been a very linear anime. Yeah. And when you took the aspect of death out of the anime, it made the fight scenes seem really bland, and it made it seem like that people's lives were never actually in danger. Yeah. So you never felt really attached to those fight scenes. In most cases, you liked it for the flash and the gleam on it.
I mean, it's just true though.
It's really what it was.
Death had no consequence in DBZ.
Yeah.
The only thing where I disagree with that is because pre-Super, nobody really knew where the Namekians were, and if you blew up Earth, that's where the Dragon Balls were. So a lot of people that were coming to Earth were like, hey, I'm not just going to kill everybody on Earth. I'm also going to blow up the... Actually, if you kill Piccolo, you also don't get Dragon Balls to wish anybody back. So they were actually fighting for something. It was it's not like a nigga going to bring them back after they all were
the
murdered.
Namekians still had the Dragon Balls. And then the fact is that
they're still out there.
Yeah.
And so, in a show like that, they're just going to find them.
Yeah, exactly. And
that was kind of thing, is it just kind of, if you think, it might be, some tension, but to me, it always felt like it was, false tension. You're like, oh, shit. And then you're like, nah, they'll just fucking...
Let's put an aspect, like Clay says, it's if you start the anime, someone dies that people were attached to, people feel the loss with the characters in that moment.
Yeah. The first time Krillin dies, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he's gone.
Holy shit, yeah.
And then when you enter
towards the end of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, right? People really felt when Krillin passed.
You're just like, holy shit.
But
they knew they were still fighting for the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't think they had established that you could bring someone back from the dead.
Goku was brought back.
They did?
Goku was brought back beforehand.
Before Krillin.
Because Piccolo killed Goku. Piccolo killed.
No,
Goku.
I'm talking about in Dragon Ball.
Like
Not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball.
Krillin died in Dragon Ball Z, right?
No, he died in Dragon Ball Z, but in Dragon Ball, the original.
yeah, he did pass in Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the thing about
that was
Krillin
why they
died-
had to go to Namek, was because he had already been brought back by the Earth Dragon Balls. So that was the thing, because like that was like a oh shit moment when Krillin got killed.
Yeah, it used to be you couldn't get brought back if you got brought back before. With
Yeah.
Dragon Balls, but Namek and Dragon Balls didn't have that rule.
Yeah. And then so the thing this is just my thing when it comes to storytelling in general. And this is not just Dragon Ball was great to watch. Great, I still enjoyed Super, but
We got to hit this and then go back to the Bunny Girl Senpai.
Oh, well, I definitely-
we just
I
tangented immediately.
this segues to Bunny Girl.
Oh,
Senpai.
okay.
So
Good.
the aspect. So one reason I'm speaking on the aspect of death is because you have animes that don't respect the aspect of death, and when you introduce some way to cheat death, you start to devalue life more. And so even if so let's say you introduce it once, you introduce it twice, right? So then the third time someone dies, no one cares. Why? Because people have been brought back the first time, people have been brought back the second time. So the assumption is that there is a way they're going to be brought back, right? That is the assumption. That is what I'm saying. Not saying that, oh, well, we didn't know that the Dragon Balls couldn't do this, or we didn't know about these Super Dragon Balls, right? We didn't know about the Galactic Dragon Balls before this, but we knew due to a pattern that life was not as valuable and that it will be brought back. Like, so when Bunny Girl Senpai, well, the great thing about that anime, it followed under the timeline in where people didn't die in the sense of like actual like people passing. But there are scenes in that anime in where you suffer severe loss based off of like how the anime progressed. The general gist, without trying to spoil everything, is there's this thing called the teenage syndrome, and it's essentially where your adolescence you have things where this one guy interacts with a person, and his job as the protagonist is to help everyone fight their adolescent syndrome.
So I don't mean to interrupt you, but we do have to actually let Blair talk about the topic at some point.
Fair enough.
This is both of us.
No, I know. I just want to make sure that we're both.
No, yeah.
But go ahead.
But that's where, in my opinion, like for like death in the aspect of anime, they do it really well because towards the end of that, not towards the end, just in the anime itself, you suffer loss throughout the anime via whether it be life, existence, love, or so on and so forth. When you lose something, they lose it, and it's permanent. And so as people continue to lose, you continue to feel for it.
Yeah, I lost some tears. Some tears. It was there.
It's definitely on my watch list.
It's
Like, what did you think about, like, so have you seen like Angel Beats or anything like that? What did you feel about Angel Beats?
loss. It was emotional.
It's one of those. I definitely like.
What
was your biggest? What to you made was your biggest emotion?
Give us our bunny girl senpai
input.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it that like drew you to the anime in the first place?
A buddy of mine was just like really into it because I had kind of taken a break from watching a whole bunch of anime like I normally have, where I would watch everything that would come out every season,
Right.
and then watch old stuff I'd never seen before in the off time. And he was like, "You got to watch this show." Every time I'd see him, watch this show. So finally, I was like, "Whatever." And it was definitely one of the better ones that they come out. It's not, it's not any. I mean, there's of course definitely some kind of bait to get you hooked. Of course, she's, not really a spoiler. In the first episode, she's walking around in a bunny suit, like a Playboy bunny suit, trying to get people to notice her.
Yeah,
I mean, sex sells. Like
but as you gradually progress in the series, you realize it's not about that whatsoever. It's about a lot of it is just about trying to. Some of it was about trying to find yourself or try to.
I did like that aspect of it too. It was more like the anime was more driven towards acknowledgement as opposed to like problem solving. Each individual character had an interest in an incident in where they wanted to just be acknowledged.
I see.
And that was the biggest thing. Like even the first girl.
So like validation.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
gotcha.
So everyone has some series of validation.
Validate some tears.
And some of it, it's kind of like they would also add some kind of like science behind it. Like they would, of course, their excuses for it would be like, you know, quantum entanglement.
No.
My God.
No. Why? No. I'm so tired.
No,
I'm so fucking tired of quantum mechanics. Did you know there's a Deepak Chopra quote generator? There's a fucking algorithm online that will generate nonsense Deepak Chopra quotes.
Oh, really?
If anyone doesn't know, Deepak Chopra is the Indian dude who's like, reality is created when you view it or whatever. Like you looking at things brings reality into existence. It's bullshit. I'm here to tell you as a fucking physicist, he's full of horse shit. Don't listen to the crap that he's selling
All
you.
of it was like based off of like one of the instances was there's one of the science nerds in school. She would base off like he would be like, why is this happening? She was like, well, it's kind of similar to Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Demon.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Maxwell's
Lapis' demon.
Wait, who's?
Lapis.
Basically,
Maxwell. Right?
Lapis.
No, not Lapis. That's the Pokemon.
Lapis.
Lapis. Essentially, it was like if you could, everything could be measured. So you could, hypothetically, you could calculate what would happen in the future.
Yeah. But the Heisenberg uncertainty principle would fuck with that.
Yes. And it was the idea. It's really good because it's, how do I say, they didn't do it as in the sense of like, hey, you know, we don't have any real like idea of how this works, so we're just gonna throw the word quantum mechanics at it.
Right? Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, honestly, even if they butchered quantum mechanics, this would just be like one of 8,000 different fucking.
Yeah.
We lost a microphone again. Hang on.
Yep.
I'm gonna kill you.
We're keeping that in.
Whoop your ass. I'm to whoop your ass.
But it's one of those animes like what like have you had a chance to see anything else from that season? What have you watched? Recently?
That was seriously like that was the only thing I had watched because the last like season I really watched was the winter 2018. Winter 2017. Like Darling and Franks and all those.
Oh,
like, I said, I just got to like episode 8 of Shield Hero, which is still being released.
Man, Shield Hero is amazing.
Don't.
I'm not gonna spoil
shit. But the biggest thing I really liked about Bunny Girl Senpai, which really just made was not to mention I just like shows that are tearjerkers. It just makes you think a lot about it. But it was a way to handle loss without, like you said, without it being just death. Where they just be brought back because there's instances where it's like it's not the same anymore, and you could feel that in the characters, and you could feel that in yourself. You're like, when that ending showed, it's like thank you for watching. I'm just like, fuck, I gotta buy this novel right now.
Yeah,
shit. Yeah. I need more. You have that sense of wanting more and see where.
I feel like there's so much of that. That like dodging the emotional nowadays too, because like if you think about it, anytime there's a tragedy, right? Like anytime there's a tragedy, like people post on Facebook about it, and then are like, all right, and then they just turn Facebook off and go watch Netflix or something like that. Like there's a tornadoes that rip through
everybody.
Yeah, there's just so many distractions from everything now that it's like anytime there's something bad that happens, it's like, oh damn, that's a shame. You have like 5 seconds of that, and then it's like, all right. Let me go do something to make myself happy again.
I also blame
no one just sits and feels.
There's no one's like attached to anything.
It's
anymore.
exactly. That's why,
It's like people are too afraid of. They're too afraid of hurt.
I think. I venture to say that's wrong, and my reasoning my reasoning is I think we've been desensitized to death and loss. I think that we've grown up in a generation or a generation in where. The news information has been at your fingertips, right? So, like, let's venture to say the people before social media, when you found out about death or anything like that, it wasn't as frequent,
right?
So we see it so frequent, we see it so often,
and usually within 15 seconds of it happening.
Yeah,
but no, I agree.
And you can
I
probably go online, like on your phone right now, and look at somebody die.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that before.
Well, there was a Facebook live stream the other day.
Yeah.
We're never going to talk about that, man.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with.
No, I agree with the desensitization.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I just think a big part of it, because everyone talks about desensitization or people being desensitized to violence and all that stuff. I just think no one ever talks about the fact that like there's almost this addiction to pleasure on top of that. Like you have your phone, you have like if one app is making like you're on Facebook, it's making you sad. All right, cool. I'll just go to my other app and do this instead. Yeah.
Well,
now I feel happy again. Cool.
It's because
like,
people don't want to confront feelings like that.
Yeah. So I think they're desensitized to it because a part of it is you're just so used to seeing things. It's like, well, great, another shitty thing happened.
Yeah.
Awesome. But like people don't know the world's always been shitty. So like it's just always been shitty.
Yeah.
It's better now. In fact, it's actually just better now, but it's always been a shit.
Nobody's you're not going to get conquered tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, there's not any invading Romans or anything like that.
Imagine if Twitter was around when stuff like that.
Yeah,
Hashtag Rome has fallen.
The French Revolution would be like, we still fighting ourselves. Don't know when this is going to end.
The Germans just invaded Poland. Someone help us.
Carthago delinda est.
Or they'll be like,
Fucking salt the earth, man.
I wish Diogenes had Twitter. That's all I want.
Oh my lord, I would have followed that man on Twitter.
Yeah,
I would have made it Twitter.
I'm making a Diogenes fan account on Twitter where I just post shit he did.
or there'll be American Post. I bet y'all didn't look. I bet y'all didn't think we had 2 bombs, did you?
Yeah. When we bombed Japan, they would have tweeted, "We're sorry, we give up. Please don't do this."
The place so nice, we nuked it twice.
Yeah. Like
They wouldn't have got on to Trump so much for tweeting a lot. It was like because the first one would be like, let them eat cake.
but like back to
Back to anime.
But anime in general, in my opinion, especially like more recently, has been coming up with very intricate ways to emotionally attach you to characters.
Yeah.
I have there's one called Erased. No, this is old.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my fucking god, it's such a good.
Have you seen My Hero Academia? Just that's one of the mainstream ones.
I have not been able to watch anime in so long. I just have not had the time. For it. I haven't even had time for sleep this week.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither, man. Life is hard.
I had 4 hours the previous night, and then 5 hours last night. 4.5. I actually can't remember.
I think we had about the same. But
I just kind of passed out at one point yesterday.
But My Hero, I think, does something really well comparative to like how Dragon Ball does. They introduced a way to connect you to the character beyond flashy fight scenes. Mm-hmm. Like when characters overcome hurdles in that anime, you seem more attached to it. Yeah. I think one of the saddest moments in Dragon Ball, in my opinion, was Vegeta's self-destruct.
Yeah. And that hit everyone.
It's not because he killed himself. It's because the sacrifice he made due to his contrast in character.
It was his turning point.
Yes.
That was Vegeta's turning point. Like, that there was his turning point.
Don't hate me, but, like, I felt more emotional connection to My Hero than I have ever Dragon Ball. Like,
I agree.
Well, most of Dragon Ball is just, like...
I agree.
That was something, like, I liked about My Hero is you would have, like, Dragon Ball, yes, but it's, like, the only, like... You wouldn't have that same emotional connection. You're like, okay, well, this character's really cool, or this, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like, obviously, if they die, bring him back.
I venture to say it's because just Dragon Ball was a pioneer, though.
That's fair.
That's kind of, they're kind of the first, not the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, they're the first. They started the big wave into U.S.
Yeah.
In my
That's
opinion.
gonna stop 10-year-old Clay from crying like a bitch.
Yeah.
Blew himself up. That's what I mean.
But and on that point, you were saying, I agree with you because of the fact that, like, you wanted to root for your characters more. Like, it was more like in Dragon Ball, when someone beat someone, it was like, that was pretty cool. Yeah. And in Hero, it was like, fuck yeah! Yes!
Well, also in Dragon Ball, it was the fucking Goku show.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Fair.
Yeah. To quote my little brother,
Goku
it's the fucking Goku show. It's just the Goku hour with the Goku and Friends show.
Yeah, man, they got the little team, the little squad. We're going to hold them off until Goku come back.
No matter who's supposed to beat the villain, it's going to be Goku.
Well,
Even when Gohan beat him, it was still fucking Goku in the
I
background.
still don't want to give Goku that one.
Nah.
Fuck him.
It was
with that
Gohan.
Goku beat them both. He beat him twice. He took him to another planet and died, and then came back and helped Gohan kill him.
Hashtag Goku show. There you go.
But,
start that on Twitter.
And then another one. This is
They don't actually use Twitter.
maybe the
It fucking
same
sucks.
round Darling and Friends. Now I can understand if
Dying
y'all hadn't
platform.
seen this, if y'all catch up on anime because of the title and like the first 5 minutes of the show was very. It's a raunchy show, but
Yeah,
it's about
Darling.
writers.
Yeah,
It is.
It's
Darling
all-
and Frank.
No, not that. Not
Oh.
that. I was just saying it was in the same season. There's a show called A Sister's All You Need. And essentially it was about this writer. And the thing was he had like a weird sister complex.
Oh,
But
that is horrible.
But
That's
and
the
the first
first
5
time
minutes was
I could
awful.
tell from the
The
title.
whole first 5 minutes was awful. You know, you see the most raunchy shit, and the whole show is pretty raunchy. But a lot of it was about like writers overcoming their struggles. You know, it was a group of writers. He was the only character that was that weird. The other writers were a little bit more normal.
That was
Besides the girl that was in love with him.
We,
That
the
was
Unfiltered Podcast, do not support
Wasn't that the
fucking your
one-
sister.
No, we don't support that.
His sister's the
We're
one with
close
the
to
purple
Alabama,
hair.
but we're not there.
No, the
sister had the
sister was
purple
the
hair?
one that had to pretend she was a boy, just so he wouldn't try to.
Wow!
Wow.
We do not
Oh, we're
support.
thinking about
Chalkboard.
different.
Wow.
We're thinking about different animes. I thought
damn
this
near
the
a
one that.
chalkboard
Yeah.
No, it was-
Oh, the one I'm thinking about is My Brother, My Writer. No,
No.
My Sister, My Writer, or something like that.
No, that's something
oh.
else. That's this one was basically about a whole bunch of writers that were
Them
trying to
niggas
find
weird.
themselves. But it was actually like you would, if you got past the raunchy sides of it, you would see that the people that actually wrote the show had a lot.
Yeah, I
that
walked
wrote
through the shadow of death. This anime is probably good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, I did watch that. So it's
Of course you fucking did. Will.
I did watch that. So it's actually really good. It's in the sense of like so it's like you said, it's a series of writers. It's a guy who's an author. It shows the struggle of him as an author going through like finding characters, developing his characters, going over his crutch. He lives by himself, and he has a he lives by himself.
I'm shocked.
No fucking one.
But he has a sister complex, a little sister complex, where
Oh no, it's a little sister.
yeah.
No, yeah.
So it's now
Stop touching the children.
now it's not like,
John Raw, you're still out on our show.
but it was more along the lines of like he liked the dynamic that the little sister created when it came to like the interaction between characters, between the male protagonist, female protagonist, and like his idea of like the little sister in anime context. Trying not to sound like a complete freaking weeb right now.
Too late.
I know, right?
We're already there.
Wait till you see my man cave. You
We
see all the
territory,
freaking
we
anime
territory.
posters.
Wait till you see my room.
But so in the anime gents, this gist of anime, the sister complex follows around the idea of that the little sister integral where it comes to her older brother. She leans on him as the protector. Right, so you have the damsel in distress aspect. She has a very high admiration for him because of the fact that he's seen as really strong. He's, Then there's also the case that the guy falls in love with another woman, but she never sees any other women be good enough for her brother because she sees her brother in this high light. So it's things like that what's made the siscon complex such a big genre, because it was their way of putting a damsel without putting a damsel in the anime.
Yeah.
And this anime did it in a way that was kind of, so he does have a little sister, right? But it
He
was
has no idea.
Yeah, it wasn't because that's not his that's his like stepsister. Right, but he only known her from a certain age, and she always pretended to be a boy. It was weird because of the fact that their parents got married when he was already moving out.
Hashtag shit you can only pull off in Japan.
Yeah, so it's a bunch of crazy
Everybody
stuff.
knows that stepsister is okay if you watch Pornhub at any point in time.
Yeah.
That's just
Or X videos.
But I definitely think you should watch this anime.
Apparently it's the
It's
most popular
those
one
was
with millennials.
jokes.
Skip the
Those
first
was
5
jokes.
minutes.
Apparently that's the most popular thing with millennials.
But
is that.
I will say that
Fucking millennials.
there was a couple scenes that would also in that show make because there's a love interest that she was completely infatuated with the main character. That was the whole reason she became a writer, was just because of reading his works.
Onicha?
No,
No,
it was a girl.
It was a different girl.
But
she was infinitely better than he was.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's not really that much of a spoiler.
No, it's
essentially he didn't want to marry her. He liked her as well, but he didn't want to marry her because he didn't want to be a side character in
her story.
Story.
And that was one of the great things that, in my opinion, they did really well about the
it was really nothing about a little sister.
No, it was really nothing.
It wasn't what you would think when you watch the show.
Exactly. The only thing that was anything about Little Sister was the fact that he had a sister complex, and all his art or his works displayed that. Right.
His story would be about, it would be like basically they just were like, all right, here's Naruto, but the main character wants to fuck his sister. That's essentially all his works.
I ain't watching that.
But it was really nothing about his works. It was really about
But it's his stepsister in real life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
I'm just making sure I'm following.
but the thing is, it's not him and his sister never have any interactions.
It's not as bad. It's still bad, but it's not as bad.
Well, him and his sister don't ever have interactions like that.
No.
Him and his sister is more like his sister's keeper. Her brother's keeper. She just goes in, cooks, leaves. She goes in, cooks, leaves. There's really little interaction between him and her. It's the other females that gather around him that are attracted to him. So there's one point in time, like he says, where one of his biggest fans for one of his early works, right? She became a huge fan of his, and his works pulled her out of deep depression to where she was going to kill herself. And she became a writer. And because of him, she became a writer. Okay. She wanted to marry this guy. Okay. She ended up finding him. She wanted to marry him. He says, I can't marry you. And the whole time, you're trying to figure out why he does it. This girl's head over heels. She's a great writer. She's not a weird character. She's just, because she feels so attached.
A sister is all you need.
A sister is all you need. And what's so great about that is the fact that you see hints of things where he's like kind of like, he likes her, but he doesn't show it. You can't really tell if he likes her or not throughout the anime. But at one point in time in the scene, he's talking to a good friend of his who's also a writer, but he's kind of an old washed up writer. Yeah. And he goes, well, why won't you ever just marry her? He goes, and this girl's passed out, because they drink in his apartment all the time. She's half passed out, right, pretending to be knocked out. And he says, she's the perfect girl. It'd be crazy for me not to be with her. But I know if I do, that I'm now no longer going to be me. It's never going to be my works, because we're going to be a couple. She is the stronger writer. And now from now on, I'm never playing the protagonist. I'm playing the sidekick to the protagonist. I see. Okay. And so it was more or less along the things of his internal struggle with, he likes her. He really does like her. She's far exceeded what he can do. And he's trying to build himself up to the point where he can walk that line with her as an equal and then become a couple. Yeah. So it's... That's
like they say, get good, son.
And then the only other one, and there's not much else I want to talk about. Y'all need to watch the new Fate movie that just came out. I don't know if any of y'all are in Fate. I'm very into Fate. I love Fate. The Fate series. The new Heaven's Feel movie just came out yesterday.
I didn't even know.
I probably watched it. They didn't show it. Still pissed off.
I am too, man.
I was
bleep that out. So that was at 104:30. It's okay.
Think about it.
It's okay. I had to bleep one out on our previous one. But anyways,
yeah. But it's that I do love the Fate series. If you haven't had a chance to watch the Fate series, it's really good. There's a lot of the movie, from what I could gather from the previews, because I haven't watched it yet because I've been so busy. You don't really need to know too much about the Fate series in order to watch that movie.
They do a good way of explaining it. There's a lot more to it. Yeah, that's if you want to. That's way too much.
Talking for King.
But like the Heaven's Feel route is the more darker side. So if you're into more the
gritty story,
instead of
really
the
dark.
Hero wins, you want to see darkness take over. That's definitely Heaven's Feel. So at least I read the visual novel. It's fucking amazing.
Well, Fate has never been like the hero wins.
No,
there's
it
always
really
been
hasn't.
like there's always been consequences for the hero.
Essentially,
Like
they did a good job.
I think with the Fate series in general, when every time they come out with another series of it, it's almost like another a view from another person's perspective. My favorite so far is still the one with Berserk. You know,
which one? All of them had Berserk.
Yeah,
Hercules.
Hercules, baby.
That was one of my
He was
favorites.
my least.
And if you like,
He was my least. Actually,
He was my least favorite. Like
Lancelot's the best berserker. Don't
Lancelot or Gilgamesh, but no,
Gilgamesh wasn't.
Gilgamesh was
no. Fair enough, he wasn't Berserker, but he was an archer.
Gilgamesh. I was like, whoa, what?
He was an archer.
No, this is the whole series. It's like imagine if King Arthur, Hercules, Gilgamesh, Medusa,
all the heroes,
all these like heroes from history. Just get summoned by mages and fight. It's basically
I like Spartacus
the whole
a lot
series.
as a berserker. I love Spartacus.
I never knew this.
Spartacus was cool.
Like if you want to see gender bent King Arthur fight, it turns it off. Don't. It is
as long as she doesn't have a penis.
Nah, she,
no. But she does have a son that's a woman.
Wait, what?
She has a daughter.
She has a
son that's a woman.
yes.
It
makes more sense if you watch it. It makes more sense if you watch.
You gotta watch the Fate series. Is really
It
good
can make more sense, man.
because it's
science.
No.
Yes.
Fuck yourself.
Yes. Clay,
Fuck yourself.
but you watch it and then tell JoJo to fuck yourself. You're gonna sit here and be like, you know, JoJo, I'm gonna have to give you my degree.
What degree?
Fair enough. Because JoJo right now may look like
King
the
Arthur,
aliens guy to you. But
the original
pretty sick.
when they first made like the prototype.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, let's make it a female protagonist and a male King Arthur, and no one fucking liked it. It didn't really sell well. So we're like, all right, switch it around. So that's why.
That's fair.
And they were just like, fuck it, let's just make almost every character we've had in the show. Not every, but almost every.
So wouldn't that be Queen Arthur?
No.
it's
Because she
okay.
pretended.
Shut up.
You gotta watch it.
Fuck you.
I still love.
She didn't pull.
I still love Hercules.
She pulled the
Hercules
Jonah
and
Arc,
his
And
baby.
Ilya.
Ilya is my
Ilya.
favorite character. I don't care what no one says.
She can't see no more.
That character, I love her, and I'm so mad they killed her. I love
Fate Zero had me
Spoilers.
crying.
Fate Zero.
Fate Zero.
Everybody died.
everyone eventually, but her death, in my opinion, was the worst. She's a fucking child, all right?
little
A fucking child.
was 18, was she not?
Look. In my eyes, she was a fucking child.
She like, I shit you not, she went up to the main character and was like, "You're gonna die tonight, big brother." Because she's like, oh, well,
Yeah, she had like.
yeah, she's a little deranged since her dad left her.
She is a little. She does have somewhat of a like.
She got locked up in a castle for like 10 years.
Yeah, man. So she's crazy. She's crazy.
That's fair.
She got thrown into the wolves with Hercules, and they had to fight him off.
Yeah,
I don't remember
that
that
character.
scene.
So her dad left to get cigarettes and just.
Yeah.
No, yes.
You can kind of say that. Yeah.
And probably died in the line.
My favorite character from the whole Fate series, hands down, has to be
Ku Cullen.
Nah, it has to be.
Kukulkan?
No, Ku Cullen, the child of light, the Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah,
He's in there too.
Yeah.
he's badass as shit.
Wow, that's fucking everyone, man.
Yeah, you gotta
It
watch
has to be. It has
It's
to
Fortnite
be.
though, with just it's battle royale. They just fight to the death.
Yeah, it has to
It's
be.
Fortnite. I'm not watching anymore. So we talked about this before. I worked at a fucking space science center. If I see one more fucking fourth grader come up in there doing Fortnite dances, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
What about a Fortnite book bag?
I as well.
I saw like a vein pop out of Clay's neck.
I'm upset. I'm upset. Essentially, the whole goal is there's a holy grail that spawned that it's omnipotent wish granting device. Essentially,
Omnipotent.
Fuck.
This is just the word.
It's
correction.
too late.
You also say euthanasia, but it's euthanasia. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. Euthanization.
Tom, your favorite character?
I was talking
is?
about euthanasia.
Yeah, who's your
That's the name of the.
I like
fucking
the sorcerer
Yeah,
and the
that's very
and
true.
his
euthanization.
and
Is something.
his,
Yeah,
That's fair.
they're both correct.
You are correct. I'm sorry.
I like
euthanasia, man. They got enough of those already.
And his I like the sorcerer and his master from Fate Zero.
My favorite character has to be killed.
No, the sorcerer.
Oh my Jesus!
Who's
Spider? I'm sorry.
Who's the sorcerer?
The one that was killed, calling Lance, not Lancer, but calling Arthur Joan of Arc.
Oh, Ryunosuke.
Yeah,
And,
they were going
Joan
around. They were going around killing the little
children.
kids.
Yeah,
I
remember
I know it sounds messed up, but they have
it was
like
fucked up.
They had
What do you mean?
Cthulhu.
What do you mean?
it was like
The
it
way
was
these niggas
crazy.
go around hunting kids, that shit was brutal.
And did you guys see the end? The
His
end is
candy
what made
is
me
not-
like those. The end is what made me like those characters so much. Is whenever the master got stabbed, he was looking at his blood and he was like, "What is this? It's so warm. It's what I've been looking for this whole entire." He's been going around murdering everybody.
So
He looked at his and he was like, "This is what I've been looking for my entire life." And he was just bleeding out and just fell to the floor.
My favorite character is Kid Gilgamesh.
Kid Gilgamesh.
Yes.
You see the fight scene with him.
Yes. He is the
And
best.
essentially, but yeah. So Fate Zero
Gilgamesh,
essentially
my
is if you
second
think
favorite.
of King Arthur, Gilgamesh.
Basically, every hero.
Alexander the Great is in it.
all of the world's mythology.
Alexander the Great is the coolest fucking dude in the show. Besides,
Really?
not the coolest, but he's badass.
And fair enough.
He
was kind of a badass.
I like the
Real
wands. The one from.
He's still kowtowed to
What was
Diogenes,
the one?
though. So I mean,
I can't remember.
But they have and then they have a mobile game now that it's like the highest gross. It makes the most money in the world.
That game.
Holy shit.
And that's also where the Saber meme came from.
I spend way too
you ever
much time on that game.
You ever seen the little chibi form of a Santa Claus anime girl just
Oh
walking
yes.
around?
Can I play it?
no.
come
It's
on.
Don't play
huge.
it.
It's huge,
Don't-
but
it's not Christmas. We're not.
it's
I'll find it. I'll look it up.
But it's
Everyone else
Saber.
is curious. Just look it up.
I spammed the shit out of that on Facebook.
I haven't seen it then.
ha, bow, snatch. She go snatch your niggas up. You gotta watch it.
I gotta watch this.
Dying.
Yeah. So don't play Fate Go. I've already spent like $1,000 on that game, and I'm not proud of it.
Give me $5.
I don't have any more.
I spent it on the game. You heard him.
Don't give him
Jojo.
$5. If you give Jojo $5, he's gonna assume you got more dollars.
Yeah. Give me $5. Now give me $5 more.
I used to go like around in school, and I would tell people they would owe me money. And they'd be like, "Why do I owe you money?" It's like, "Don't you remember?" And just make up a story, and then that's how I like just give money.
That's how you got money?
Taxing.
That reminds me of Tyme be doing the
I
people.
love doing that.
He did that too. I remember that's what
Because I know. I love doing that because black folks get mad when you tell them that they owe you money.
Bills is hard.
So I
already hard enough.
I just
fucking white bill.
There'll just be a black person walking by me, and I'll just be like, "Hey, nigga, don't you owe me money?"
Yeah, man. How the fuck do I owe you money?
like I haven't done that. There's only been one person that I've done that to who didn't cuss at me after I did it.
You gotta do this like you see some guy on like a first date. Just,
Listen,
hey, don't you owe me?
Listen, viewers, try this at your own risk. Just go up to a black person and ask them, "Hey, don't you owe me money?" And
Watch him cuss you out.
Attention viewers, I do not recommend doing this.
at your own risk.
This is not. Please see the warning at the beginning of the podcast.
But man, look, man, I love anime. I watch a lot of anime. If any, so like every time you list something, I'm just like, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, and
You
look,
really have seen a ridiculous amount of anime.
man, look. At one point, I've been like self-employed for years, so I've had all the fucking nothing else to do but sit here and watch anime in my free fucking.
There's still.
That's
fair.
what
I
I've been
started
watching anime like for 3 whole years. Just binge watching anime.
outside of like the shows that you would play on Cartoon Network as a kid. I didn't get into anime until like my senior year of high school. So I'm still watching like these shows that I'm supposed to already have watched. Like, I'm still watching Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Are you watching Alchemist or Brotherhood?
Brotherhood.
Most of my anime knowledge
I
comes
hate
from Tsunami.
I hate Tyme and Jojo because they keep reminding me about the little girl that was merged with the dog.
Don't let Peter find out about it.
I hate them so bad. I hate that. Every time that fucking picture pops up, it's usually them niggas and they tagged me in it because they know it hurts my feelings. Every time we watch the live action.
Daughter dog. Don't you want a daughter dog?
We watched the live action one. Yeah, that one too. I hate everybody.
I'm gonna buy a very long wig for like.
You do that, I'm fighting you. We watched a live action movie, and the movie was kind of really like here and there. It wasn't really as like the graphics weren't that great. 100%. Just
Okay.
The Dragon Ball movie had better.
Pretty
graphics.
much every. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was better than
Talk
Dragon
story
Ball.
wise.
Oh, how?
What are we talking about?
How hard is it to beat the Dragon Ball movie in terms of story? The Dragon Ball Z movie, like the live action Dragon Ball Z movie?
Yeah.
You can't lose to that movie.
Yeah, you can. You don't see that slide on the top of the car.
But look,
Man, Evolution, greatest anime movie. Don't at me.
There's one man who thinks the world is flat. So
trash.
Yeah.
But like the whole
Who knows the world is flat?
no one
Case
because
in
it's
point.
not. but besides that, like that whole movie was like just like they cherry picked moments in the anime and they poorly reenacted it, except for one fucking scene. That scene gave me fucking nightmares. Because have you seen the live action?
No.
It looks so fucking good. Like that one scene, I was like, my heart stopped a little bit. Them niggas were laughing at me. I was not okay with it. If you use another anime you should watch Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
The
Did
second
you catch
season's out right now.
I have not caught up yet. I need to catch up on Mob Psycho.
It's hype.
They also have a live action Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet. There's a part that I had to make sure happened in the live action. And it did, dog. It wasn't fucking hilarious.
Oh,
This
God.
episodes, ain't it?
I see the picture of it.
Uh-huh. You see how
horrifying.
fucking real it looks?
That's
Wait till it fucking
horrifying.
looks at you, Clay. Wait till it fucking looks at you.
This man made, he didn't want to have to feed two dependents, so he made himself a daughter dog.
No.
two
That
for
wasn't the
one.
reason, but oh well.
I remember like when I first started watching anime, I was like, I had jokingly asked a friend, I'm like, why is there only cat girls? Why is there no dog girls? And then he showed me the picture, and I was just like, oh.
Watch Dog Days. Dog Days is a really good anime. It's about a guy who gets transported into another world, and there are wars that happen between the dog people and the cat people. All right, and people don't actually die. Their wars are treated like
I've seen
games.
this movie before.
And
Dogs versus cats.
They don't
Cats
actually.
versus dogs, yeah.
Cats-
I was
you know,
gonna
there's a
say that,
second
yeah.
movie,
Oh
but
Straight to DVD, I bet.
it's on Netflix.
Even worse, yeah.
But the dog
That's the
people.
2019 version of straight to DVD Netflix original.
Yeah. They didn't spend the money on a physical version of
But
it.
they have the dog people versus the cat people, and the wars are treated like games where people don't actually die, and whoever wins the war got the prize money. And they would do these games over territory. And so you would fight in these wars, and if you took a fatal blow, you transform into these little chibi forms. Think of like Patamon.
Okay.
You transform into like little Patamons with either cat ears or dog ears, and everyone would just come and scoop you up, and they take you back to base.
That sounds adorable.
It is hilarious, but so the dog people summoned a hero who did like Ninja Warrior and stuff like that. He trains in it and does that religiously. So he comes in with this big pole staff and goes beating the brakes off all these cat people. And bow, bow, and it's hilarious. But it's so good if you want to see it, because there's like a love interest between him and the princess, and then the cat people summon their hero, and their hero ends up being like the rival of him, and then they have this whole little battle, and then you find out they're bird people too, and they're not really birds, they're like flying squirrel people, because you just can't have whole bird people. Yeah, they have like raccoon tails, and
the Tanuki thing?
Yeah.
The Tanuki thing. Okay.
well, but they're like flying squirrels.
It's like Super Mario 3, but real life.
Essentially.
Oh, there are dog girls in anime.
Wasn't there one in No Game No Life?
No Game No Life.
Wasn't that the little
the
princess
dog
chick?
people? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Now I
had the whole
remember.
And that slave anime.
Love.
too.
Speaking, I love that show, but that was about as like
seen the
even.
movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Don't spoil anything. Stop.
We have to catch
Stop
that.
looking like a little girl, Will.
That movie was godlike. Clay, I don't care what anyone says.
I still haven't seen the movie.
I have it. I
No
have
spoilers,
it.
no
I have it. I'm
spoilers,
not
no
going to.
spoilers,
I have it. That
no
movie
spoilers.
is godlike. Oh my god.
I'll come over and watch it sometime.
Clay, if you ever want to watch a really good anime,
Okay.
watch High School DxD
In
dub.
English.
No.
In dub.
No.
English dub.
No.
Please
No.
watch it.
No.
Panty and
English dub.
Stocking and Dub. Panty and Stocking and Dub. is
This
great.
nigga literally
Watch
says,
English dubbed High School DxD and then
Oh.
watch Ghost Stories English dubbed as
Oh,
well.
stop.
This nigga literally says, why you talking to my future baby mama like that?
Wait, is this Ghost? No.
No,
Dub High School DxD.
Ghost Stories is amazing.
I'm a dick kick that nigga for not nigga, but, I'm a dick kick him for stealing our shorties.
That is actually sad.
There's so many girls in here, we're gonna be swimming in all the poon.
I hate that anime.
High School DxD is
I'm
hilarious in dub.
I'm gonna end it on
done.
Beast
I'm
Class
done.
2.
Yeah,
Watch Classroom of the Elite.
That's
Yes.
really
Haven't
good.
either.
Yes.
I love the little hand signs that they start throwing hand signs at each other.
Like
and just-
Naruto?
It's hilarious. No, like actual Morse code.
Yeah.
And then one guy actually like whips flags out of nowhere and he's like doing like control.
No. Okay, so real story. My dad had this friend in high school who's, incidentally, his name was Clay. But they would always just like talk and cut up and shit. They got separated because the teachers was like, y'all aren't fucking sitting together anymore. Y'all just sit there laughing the whole time throughout class. So she split them up and they learned Morse code and would actually just tap the pencils or whatever. And she was like, she became convinced that her splitting them up had made them both like really nervous. They couldn't focus on their academic work, so she put them back together.
But
Also watch Baka and Tess.
Yes.
All right.
watch that and then watch Alice in Zoroku. Where's Zoroku?
Which one was that?
That's the one with the girl that escapes like the facility and she's got like powers.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Roku, ain't that the
And
bad
then
guy
the
from
old
Inuyasha?
dude shows up. Oh, and then yeah.
I thought you were talking about Elfenlied.
No, I was gonna say that anime. That's a good.
That's also a good anime.
Except that one scene.
That was
with the
very
dog.
bloody.
Yeah,
If we have any underage viewers, don't watch Elfenlied.
that's a lie. Watch that.
Also, don't
Also
watch this
the high
podcast.
school
Hey, if you're under the age of 18, don't watch this podcast.
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to help us get views, then thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Just put it on mute. That should probably be at the beginning of the podcast, but you know.
Just open another tab. Like put this in the open another tab with like
Yeah.
a Momo video. There
Yeah.
you go. That's
Put it
what
on-
you really
put
should
it-
be watching.
Oh, speaking of
Watch the
anime,
Momo videos.
we are going to be at MomoCon.
Yeah, I think we
I
actually,
need to
I
get
think
We actually all four of us will
I
actually be
think
at
we
MomoCon.
actually will be there, so we might do like a stream
vlog or
a
something.
vlog. Yeah, we should do a vlog.
Yeah, I
Y'all need to
definitely-
get one of the fan panels.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know if they do it at MomoCon.
Yeah, so that all one people that watch it can fucking show up.
No, it'd be a
Oh,
good
yeah,
idea
no,
because
no.
you go and you get a bunch of people. They're like, "Oh, who are these guys?" And they'll go and subscribe to our channel.
Don't title it fan panel for that. Title it like something like where it would just draw people in. Like I went to an event earlier last month, and
We're just gonna
You want us to clickbait people?
Please.
no.
We're just gonna title it
Essentially,
something
like
You know, Soulja Boy people.
people would just
We're just
put
gonna title
like
it something really
one was
offensive.
like is it you know the Reddit 50/50 challenge?
Yes.
Essentially, they did one, and it was the most packed I've ever seen a fan panel where it was hentai 50/50. They would be like, all right, it's either like a cat. Girl
Oh, is it hentai or is it not hentai?
Yes. So
You
they
know,
would,
okay.
they
there's
would
a-
like give a title, and then you would watch it, and so it'd be like little Asian pussy gets like drenched, and then it'd just be a little like little
Little
cat
cat.
just get water pouring on it from the show.
Damn,
You
got a
know,
lot of
you know,
things on your show.
Hey man,
there
They
was,
don't spread that.
there was a dark point in my life where I watched this too much anime and I couldn't find it anymore. I started watching hentai for fun. That was really bad.
I'm not gonna.
There were some really interesting stories. I just couldn't get past the fucking.
Dinner for Vampire. Very good anime. Definitely an anime.
Yes, definitely an anime.
So we're
first Bible Black, definitely an anime.
That's not a fucking anime.
I didn't watch it. I've heard of that one, man. No, don't you dare watch that.
Ooh, Jug, don't put that shit there.
My first introductory into hentai was we were at a kickback, and then somebody cut it on into like one of the people who lived there. They cut it on in their house, and
Why would you cut that on with people around you?
I don't know. We were just sitting there watching it. I don't know what was going on. We were drinking. I was really drunk. But here's the first. Here's the introductory. Like the reason why I don't watch it and how it put me off. The title of the not anime, but hentai I was watching was Rape Man.
I was gonna say, have you seen Rape Man? Okay.
Yeah, Rape Man.
I haven't watched it,
Rape
but
Man
I've
is
read it.
unacceptable. There's a bunch of female villains that get raped for justice. That
What's
very,
What's
very
the one where
unacceptable.
the dude turns into a bicycle because
Oh! Wait, and he can do like a helicopter thing. Like it's wild.
I hate you guys.
It's wild.
I need to go.
So this girl is like holding onto him, and he can like go into like a crab walk position, and he just takes off in the air, and he's carrying this little angel girl who's super innocent, and he's just like, all right, we gotta go find the demon and fuck it to death. And so what ends up happening is
My official resignation from the Unfiltered Podcast.
and the wind from his dick was kicking up her skirt, and so he would see it, and so it got harder, and he hit the bike, and his dick twisted, and he went crashing into the ground.
no, that's not the same.
See, this is why I don't
There's
watch
one where
that.
the girl's like riding on a bike, and she's getting really aroused by the vibrations of the seat.
Oh,
And so the dude is like, he comes to school the next day completely butt-ass naked, but in the shape of a bicycle.
Bike.
And
Yeah.
he's holding
with his dick up there, he's like just.
and so she's just like, yeah, sure, I'll just ride you to school.
And he's like hand motioning.
All right,
All right, never mind. I'm sorry.
we're done. That's
Kind of sick people make this shit. They are the League of Villains. You look up the editors.
Hentai's now officially candidate for the League of Villains.
Yes, that has to be a thing now.
No, just Japan. Just
I've seen some wild hentai, man. I was bored. I've seen some wild hentai.
But you watched it for the plot. You watched it for the plot.
Yes, I did. I shit you not, for a month straight. I literally watched it, and I had to sit there, and I'd be I was intricately deconstructing these scenes. There was one point in time where this bitch's titties were flying in ways that didn't make sense. She was having sex, and it didn't just flop out like this. And they wouldn't look at each other anymore. And so they just started doing this slow motion like this. And it just didn't make sense.
We gotta get cameras.
we're done. We're done. We're done. Nah, that's enough. We're done. I can't handle. No, I can't.
I
Handle
just
it
wanted to
anymore.
talk about anime. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, it's fucking.
It's Blair's
good.
fault. This would never
I'm
happen.
on the villains
We
list now.
are now at the hour and a half mark for the second part, so that's gonna have to fucking wrap it up for this. So all right, everyone,
Maybe we
it's
can cut some stuff out since
we might have to. I don't know. I'll probably just put it up. raw or whatever.
Like it raw.
Yep.
Remember, raw dog challenge because of
AIDS was cured. You're right.
AIDS is cured. Raw dog challenge.
There's gonna be a lot of single mothers out there.
And orphans, because hopefully it doesn't pass on to the kid. Because the mom dies of AIDS.
Because I'm an unvaccinated.
Why are we making fun of AIDS victims? This is not okay.
Because it's their fucking
You saw that South Park?
Because it's been cured.
23 years.
It's been exactly. It's been 23 years.
Fair
it's
enough.
officially funny now.
Fair enough.
Just like the word nigga.
I don't know, Jojo. That's a little spicy.
It was fun to say.
You know, guys, I don't know if
It is
I
fun
should
to
still
say.
be on this podcast.
I won't say it on podcast, but it is fun to say.
Why is that?
What?
I've started to realize I have done very bad things in my lifetime, and there's a lot of
Oh
things.
yeah. So next podcast, we're actually going to get around to the customer service stories and other
Oh,
shit.
I completely forgot about.
Yeah, we will get around to that on the next
Oh,
podcast.
boy, I could tell you some people I've robbed. Well, I haven't robbed anyone, excuse me.
League of Villains.
Where's the bar of silver, Will?
Hell.
Where's the bar of silver?
I work at a Staples.
Evil.
Evil.
I work at an office supply store where old people come in trying to figure out how to use the internet. So I have plenty. If y'all ever need me back on for that episode, I will let y'all
I
know.
almost punched the man who handed me an address and asked me to fax something to that
Remind me to tell y'all about the man who asked if his IP address was in the box with the printer.
Sounds like it should be.
This man calls up. Hey, I'm trying to set up my printer, and I got to the point, and it's asking for an IP address. Is that something that comes in the box? Like, I'm not seeing that anywhere. And I'm just like, no, sir, you're in the wrong thing. He's like, and he didn't hear me where somebody was like, are y'all going to send it to me? Do I get this in the mail? He saw the word address, and he just thought it was something like that. And I just...
Yeah, we'll mail you.
I was
IP
this
address
close.
to you.
If it wasn't like
You should have actually just written it down, all right, 192.26, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
He
No,
ended up in like
0.1.
Brazil.
Yeah.
I should.
No, it's like there's a generic one order that you always get.
Oh, I also
Yeah.
like if you want better router connections, like 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, and 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, stuff like that.
People always ask us about the pop-up blocker. I was like, how do we remove the pop-up blocker on my thing? I don't see it here. It's just...
I just tell them just click on it and give them the information they asked for. We need to get off this. This is enough. Bye, people. I'm sorry.
Good night, everyone. Next episode. we'll
Like,
have a
sub,
fucking-
subscribe, and hit that bell. So I said sub, subscribe.
No, you gotta make sure to do the comment. That's how you get that.
And
Yeah. Actually, drop a comment.
Yeah, comment.
Please send us hate mail. We haven't gotten any yet.
Yeah.
I don't think I deserve
Do I need to
hate
start
mail.
kicking midgets?
I don't care who you send hate mail to. Just send us hate mail.
Fuck the Puerto
Don't
Ricans.
send me no hate.
Hey, man.
Send Time hate mail. Specifically Time.
Cubans
All
are
right.
the.
You'll see what
Put
you
subject
get back.
line, Time's a fag.
I knew it.
All right.
You know, Tom's actually gonna fight us one day because he left his phone out in old BK.
And Jojo posted that this nigga was
he typed
gay.
it in. He typed it in.
And who posted it?
I hit post.
Ty probably forgot
I'll
about
fucking
that.
close.
He's gonna fuck
I
you up.
didn't.
He's been planning his revenge.
That's why he's gonna marry you to a dude. Just because of that.
Is that why? Huh?
If I married
See,
him
that was
to
his
a dude,
revenge.
would that make us square?
He's like, you posted.
You married me to a fucking-
Time's like, you post on my Facebook that I'm gay, but I made you actually gay. I made you gay for real.
But for his wedding, you gotta make sure you marry him to someone who's gonna be at the wedding. Just so when you wave the
Blair, do you want to get stabbed? Because I was about to stab
He's
Will.
just like, he's married to that guy. And that guy's like, huh? Everyone's staring at him. He's just like,
How could you?
even better for
Play
that guy's
that
got a
old-
wife and kids there.
Play that
too,
old
you know.
song. I'll take your man.
All right, we actually need to go.
yeah, we actually gotta go. All right.
For real this time.
Good night, everyone. Like, favorite, subscribe, do whatever you can. Comment. Please send us hate mail.
Something.
WeTheUnfiltered@gmail.com. All right. Good night, everyone.
Bitches.